Alright, so anyways, does anyone want to recap us from the previous session of Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm logging out right now.
Okay, make sure you change your name in the chat bar.
Yeah, I've changed my name in the chat. Oh, yeah, I've changed my name everywhere.
Make sure you change your name in the chat bar, please. Okay, thanks. You also
Yes,
have
Natty.
you also have access to Sergeant Kunal's very quickly made character sheet.
Nice.
You're more than welcome to take a look at what he can or cannot do.
I can start a character.
Yeah, Dukan looks pretty rad.
Yes, he's a half-elf sergeant.
Oh, so you finally did your fighter that does the champion archetype.
No,
Oh,
this
boy.
isn't my fighter that does the champion archetype. It would be a dwarf.
Okay.
You need to have two weapons. A great axe named Shelby, and a great hammer named... I don't know what the second name is.
I'm just
Anyway.
glad that it's not named after me.
So what happened last session? Somebody help. Doing the Tia voice.
Oh boy, okay, so... Hey guys, welcome back. Do you all have a good week? I sure did. Alright, so... We're here in the town of Dawncrest. Some sort of mind flare. I'm not really sure what a mind flare is, but it's not good. Puts things in people's brains. Don't like it. And we found a secret dungeon below the castle. That's not related to the other secret dungeon below the castle. Now we're exploring it. And it's got some undead monsters in it, but we killed them.
Yay!
So where we last left our intrepid heroes, the five of you were lined up to head into the second cavern that had shown itself. Earlier you had fought a few wights, some of the heraldry and ancestry of Vollenheim, guarding what appears to be a switch that allowed you to open up a secret passage. And right now we have Cici in the front. What do you guys do?
Let's see. I guess we'll move forward.
Alright, so go ahead and move forward. Everyone kind of follows in a conga line.
I can't control Kunal anymore.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, wait, Mirrium. Oh, finally someone stepped on it. Mirrium, as you
Oh, no.
step on that tile, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Hold on, I gotta find my sheet. I have all the things in our notes open. Yee.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, it was a DC of 15, which you had failed.
Force?
Damn.
Nope. Mm-mm.
So,
No, I
unfortunately,
added the
due to
bullshit.
divine freaking will,
I add in the bullshit.
Thank you.
just in time, so Mirriam, you step above what appears to be a false stone, and as you step in it, that black ooze that you had seen earlier starts to fill it up. Grab your leg almost with a lifelike kind of motion, and starts to suck you in, but you're able to flap your wings very hard. And you're like, oh god, yeah, get me out of here. And you're about to get sucked into what appears to be an even deeper hole, but a flash of radiance shines from I keep forgetting your character names. Aldys. Sorry, there's so many characters in my head right now.
Literally like one letter difference.
Just
from
do what I
Fucking King and
do.
the
What I do,
Slayer.
and you do what I do, and refer to Discord.
Yeah, Aldys. And the flash of radiance manages to give you enough strength to pull out. And the trap itself. God damn it! Don't laugh at that. God damn it! Don't laugh at that.
Oh no.
And the trap itself, as you see the black ooze kind of recede into the hole that it came from. God damn it.
I'm sorry. It's just like you're saying suck a lot.
You are saying "suck" a lot.
I guess I have Rook on my mind, but anyways.
Oh my god.
Lord. I will leave if you do that shit again. Please don't.
And as the ooze disappears, there's a moment of panic, but then silence. What
I'm
do
gonna smooth out my feathers.
You okay, Mirrium?
the ooze,
I'm fine. I'm fine.
the ooze that are still along your talons, thankfully, didn't get anywhere too bad. But you do feel like this sizzling, kind of tingling feeling, as if it's acidic in some sort.
I'm gonna take like a handkerchief out of my bag and like wipe that up.
And you wipe it up, and
then throw away the handkerchief because that's useless now.
yeah, it starts to eat away.
Probably already got holes in it.
Yeah, it
That's
starts to eat.
littering. Littering. You just threw it on the ground.
Have you?
I'm just gonna look down as it like slowly disappears.
It's like the
Tia told me never to litter.
Littering? What littering? I don't see anything down there. I mean, it's gone by now, I imagine.
It is going. It kind of eats itself, and the ooze kind of like sits onto the ground, kind of flattening out, becoming one with the stone below it. It's no longer there. So how does the party proceed?
We go forward.
Okay.
That bodes well.
All right. So you can go for it. Feel
Yeah, is
free to
this
go.
wall actually
It's
here,
open. It's
or-
open. You notice as you step up, there used to be a false door there that has receded into the ground. The stone door has dropped into the ground. It's like a narrow corridor, and as you step into this corridor, hidden from the switch earlier, you see some light and some shadows into the room before you. And
Tio, can I go in?
Hang on. Mirrium, do you want to use your magic flashlight thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna take out the
lantern
the
reveal.
lantern
Okay, you're gonna have to
reveal.
move a little bit forward. You have to move and most behind. Yep, there you go. And you kind of shine the light. I assume straight forward.
I mean, that's all I can do at this point. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
gonna
you
turn
kinda-
it so it's a cone and
You see a trace of some warding arcane energies streaked with purple and black in this tile specifically before you.
okay.
Oh, Cici, careful.
As you climb out of the stone door, there's another one.
It's
that
in
you-
the one right here in front of me,
Yes,
correct?
the one right in front of you. So let me just mark that with an X. What appears to be arcane writings on the floor, glowing, much alike to the one you saw inside of Vollenheim's vault.
I turn around and say, do you think it's friendly, Mirrium?
I shake my head no.
And since you're inside that room, you had kind of a better view of the rest of it. Just reveal all this. Nothing else seems to be there.
Can I fly to like right here and dodge it?
You mean you can fly? You can like hover around the ground, and you kind of move over here without any issue. Some of the pebbles that fly from your talons kind of touch the glyph itself, but nothing happens. And let me just reveal.
Have we read it? Actually, like, is that? Or is like we're not gonna read it, right?
Yeah, it's just a glyph of it's a warding. It's if you step on it, it'll explode.
Yeah, it's not a message, it's a glyph.
Gotcha. Okay. Glad we
I'm gonna try to disarm that,
see
actually.
That. Yeah, see what you can do with that. I
I
will.
think so. Can you
I can't
disarm it?
just do anything.
You can assist.
Cici, don't wander off or we can't get to you.
That is Arcana?
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you'd like to disarm it?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can spend some time to kind of like see the glyph is kind of tied to the surface right now, so you can kind of cheat the system and kind of dig around it and then pick it up and throw it to the side and it'll explode. But it's because it was done in such haste, it doesn't affect the area above it or below it, just directly on the surface. So if one of you had stepped on top of it, then it would have exploded. So there might be a way just to circumvent that entirely and kind of, stick your body against the corner as best you can and move around it. But that's as much as you can see. as much as you can tell. You
Oh,
know
then
that it was done
alley-oop.
haste. You kind of jump over it, and that's fine because you're mobile.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like carefully sidle along this right here.
That's fine. And
All right, Tio.
Tia, it's a little bit harder for you because you have a shell on your back, but I'll allow it.
Thank
Like you know
I
exactly
mean,
where it is. So I
Tio
assume
kind
Mirrium
of
just
does a big old tiptoe around it.
does the tip.
kind of like I imagine him like facing the corner and like holding onto it with both hands and like gingerly stepping around it.
And Kunal does the same thing over to this side. And all right, so let me describe this room real quick. You see stairs headed up, and large stone doors to the south that seem to be completely closed shut. You see a bunch of the Valheim heraldry kind of written on it. And there's a large hole that is a key that you do not have at this moment, but it looks to be locked. And it's very tall and imposing, about 15 feet tall. And the pathway to the north has 2 doors, one slightly ajar. These little small circles over here, save for the one that you had come out of with the secret entrance, you hear bubbling coming from them. The black ooze that you're so familiar with is bubbling, kind of inert. There's some smoke kind of wafting from it, but it seems to be completely burning the air that touches it. And there's the scent of almost burnt hair kind of filling the room. Nothing too powerful, but it's still pretty prevalent. And if any of you has smelled burnt hair before, it smells disgusting.
It's unpleasant, yes.
Very unpleasant.
So these doors,
Oh, go ahead.
could I try to force them open?
Yeah. Do you have athletics as a skill?
Yeah, hold on. I'll aid you.
Okay. Well, the DC is going to be 30. Because it's pretty difficult to open. Like there's a lot of mechanisms keeping it closed right now. But you're more than welcome to try.
Well, I'd have to roll a nat 20, right?
That's true. You just
even
have to
if
roll on
it-
that.
But it'd be 27 with a nat 20.
20 means you succeed no matter what. So, nope. You push and you heave, and with the help of Aldys, the both of you try really hard to push against it. But it does look like there is something behind it that is very massive as well, keeping it closed, as well as some extra contraptions. You kind of notice through some of the holes, Aldys, you see gears and other things just keeping it closed shut. And it looks like you're going to have to find this
Mechanical
key.
door.
Yeah, it's a mechanical door with a stone finish.
Could we throw some of the acid in these puddles onto it?
I mean, you can try. Absolutely.
You
Do
can
you have
try.
something-
I don't have anything to carry that
Yeah,
in.
that's the thing, though. Do you have anything to carry this acid with?
Well, I'm sure our mess kit might have a bowl.
Yeah, but
How are the bulls fixed to the ground?
So, you notice that the bowls themselves, that the bubbling, these vats are made of brass. And it looks like the acid themselves don't seem to react to the brass. You're more than welcome to try doing. I guess this would be either.
Oh no, this wouldn't be a check at all.
Yeah, no, I was just
Alex?
gonna say.
No, hold on. Yeah, hold. Don't worry about me. I got this. Just gonna hit this right here, just to remind everybody. Wait, where is it?
Transmutation, I assume.
Minor alchemy.
Minor alchemy. Well, you see, the brass itself isn't what is keeping the acid in check, but you notice you kind of put your beacon real close enough to like this very strong scent of burning hair. It makes you reel back and retch a little bit, but you see that the brass is lined with a very thin veil, of what appears to be a sort of liquid. You can't really tell.
Oh, that's even better. I'm gonna take out one of my bowls.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, just a little traveling eating bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, that's even easy. So it's like a liquid?
Yeah, it's a very thin.
kind of like how
liquid.
water and oil work. Like
Can I? Yeah, but can I determine what liquid that liquid is?
That will you can do a history or arcana check.
I guess either of those are about the same for me.
Go ahead. Wow.
Well, I crit, Alex.
Yes, you did crit, and you would immediately know that this is something called a universal solvent. It is used.
Oh.
Do you know
I
that out
see.
of character?
I know that out of
Yeah, we know
character.
that out of
So
character.
if we want to give a brief explanation,
You can go ahead and give a
a
brief explanation if you'd like. Because you know you got a 20, you can explain it.
Well,
verbatim.
you are the professor. You should
Yeah,
explain it.
go ahead and explain it.
Oh, of course. This would be the only thing that would be able to resist something like this. Who here has ever heard of God, what's the glue called, Alex? Help me out. I can't remember that one.
Oh, I don't remember what the name of the glue was. All I know is that the universal solvent can get past it.
Sovereign glue. Has anyone ever heard of
Sovereign glue, yeah.
Nope.
I didn't mention that one time.
Mm-hmm.
You might have done like
Someone was paying attention in class.
yeah, you actually did you remember you did an experiment with that in class one day about sovereign glue. You remember about every single year there are 3 students who's dumb enough to have their hands and then like they put their hand on the sovereign glue. And it's
Every time.
every
No matter
year.
how much I say, don't touch it. Don't touch it with your bare hands.
And someone touches it.
Every year.
Cici would totally touch it.
Yep. That's why we keep plenty of universal solvent.
Absolutely, and you would have that.
Extra chores for the students that do it because that stuff's very expensive.
Yep, and unfortunately, even with your expertise, you will not be able to recreate that.
That's actually not really how my ability works, but okay.
How does your
That's
ability?
what you say. My ability work is like one object composed entirely of wood, stone, and turn it into a different one of. Oh, is it those materials?
Specifically those materials, yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So
it's
you can't
mundane
just-
materials is what they want to kind of get across to you. Like none of this, you can't make like actual alchemical items because that'd be a little too strong.
Yeah.
At level 2, this is a level 2 ability. So
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Okay, so these things, the bowls, they're attached on the ground.
they are attached to the they're to the ground. So except for this one over here,
I want to
that
pick
one-
it up and see if I could. Is it coated in the solvent as well?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
So we can use that, dip it in the acid, and then carry it over to the door and throw it on the door.
Sure, you can if you want.
Okay.
That would be a very, very long process, though. I would suggest that we,
Hey, what's this door?
Oh, that door. One of the
Okay.
door is actually ajar right now. You don't really see light coming from the other hand, but you see kind of flickerings of a shadow.
Wait, so like something's moving in front of the house?
No, not something's moving, but like you can see like the fire, like the lights of a torch at the very end of a hallway.
Okay.
And also, do you take the bowl? Do you take the bowl? I assume. You just have like a giant bowl laced with universal solvent.
You know what? I'm gonna take the bowl that is laced with universal solvent.
Okay, you can totally take that. It's laced with universal.
Oh, shit,
Oh.
be careful with that.
It's like about
It's a brass.
yeah, it's a brass bowl. It's like I don't know, a foot in diameter, maybe 2 feet in diameter. No, it's 2 feet in diameter. So
That's
brass bowl too.
It's like a basin.
Yeah, it's a
That's
basin.
more like a. That's pretty big. That would be like fucking. I don't know, like
It's like
Six
a,
or seven.
depending how big. So depending how big the supports and like the stands are, like that could be anywhere from like 30 to 60 pounds.
It's true, but you can just rip it off. I think Cici has a strength score of 18.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of
Fair.
totally lift it. But hey, you can take it if you want.
I take it.
Okay. Roll an athletics check to see if you're able to rip it off.
hey, we're strong. We cheese each other.
Oh my god!
Well, all right.
Wow. Okay.
So, the 4 of you, including Kunal, looks over and first says, "I don't think that's a great idea." And you just see she just uses it's like a pop, just pops it off like without an effort, without dropping a bead of sweat. Now she's just hugging this big brass bowl of universal solvent.
Well, you
Don't
have fun with
do
that.
it.
You now have a bowl. But anyways, you see torch, lights of the torch kind of go down the hallway.
Is a door ajar here?
Yes, the door is ajar, and I'm going to give you some line of sight. All right, so you can kind of see when you kind of peer your head through the door. I'll assume you're looking through like this.
Yeah.
Kind of see all the way at the end. And again, you see just again four very bubbling kind of vats of this oil or acid or whatever it is, kind of just bubbling there.
Can I go ahead and use Divine Sense as I peer into the room?
Yeah, absolutely. You can use your. This is the second time you're using it, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So let me All right. Wait. As you kind of look down all the way very, very to the end, you don't really notice anything. But how far is it? 60 feet? Let's see. Just to check. Okay. Well, you do feel like some sort of tingling from your senses going this way. You see the arrow?
Yes.
And going this way. So both directions at the end of the hallway. You don't know what it is, but I can tell like there's an aura, like a trail of something leading in that direction. But because it's still behind all the rock and through the walls, hard to tell.
Oh yeah, totally fair.
So what do you guys do?
Let's go in.
Okay.
I'll step in.
You step in, and let me just reveal the rest of this hallway for you guys. All the way down to the very end of the hallway.
Hey, Kuno, you want to like keep up?
Yeah, Yes, he
You
is.
might want to give one of us like the ability to move him.
We should
He
have
was
an
in
ability.
shock with the ease that I got that bowl.
I think you changed the token out because I can't move him.
You are right. Give me uno momento. You guys should be able to control him now. There you go.
Yay.
I gave it to you, the character sheet control for you guys, but not the actual token.
Well, you didn't. Yeah, you gotta make him as the character.
Yes, but in which case, so what's your marching order? So like again, there's 4 larger vats. These are a little bit larger. They're bubbling. You notice one of them's cracked, and whatever was inside is left. Has kind of oozed into the ground, and you see like there's markings of what appears to be chemical burns in stone underneath. What do you guys do?
I move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be careful, I sense something around us.
I want to
To the
move
left and right of
forward
the corridor up ahead.
Okay.
and see if I can stealthily sneak, or not sneak, but look in both
Sure.
directions before I venture
All right.
out.
So you get to about there, Aldys. And what's your passive perception again? 17?
17.
17? Because of that, because you're the only one above 15, right? Who else is above
I have
15?
15.
Yeah, 15 on the dot. Okay. You step up to here, and Aldys, you step up to there, and as you step up to here, Cici, you feel a drop. Dropping on your shoulder, and something burns. And it sizzles, and like this inch of pain as you both look up, and everyone else is kind of like stuck where they are at the moment. A large creature oozing from the ceiling drips down as it flops right on top of Cici. Cici, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Oh, fuck, slimes.
Does my dangerous...
You get advantage. You get advantage on this. You're able to notice this, so you are not surprised because of your passive perception. And 2, you just like managed to duck just right out of the way as this giant ooze drops before you.
Easy.
Is it like the same ooze that's made out of the stuff on the side?
Yes, it is the same ooze that makes stuff, but it's massive. It is a large
Stuff the
creature.
bowl in his head. Stuff the bowl in his head.
That's what I was gonna do. I want to hit it on the top of its head with its bowl.
Do not have time for that because you had the time, the one action to get out of
Got
the way.
initiative.
And now everyone select your character and please roll initiative.
Oh, we're in a good position, actually. This is fine.
We are actually in a pretty decent position, so passive perception is a great thing to have. But anyway, Cici, you get to act first.
Can I hit it on the head with my bowl full of solvent?
Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. So that is an improvised attack, which you will not get to add your proficiency bonus. So it's the 1d20 plus 4 for me to see if you hit, and there's an AC of 7. It's a really low AC. You dump the bowl onto its head, and as the bowl hits its head, it actually sinks to the ground, causing part of its body to kind of split in two. And the head just it sinks, and you hear like screaming and screeches of like this unholy kind of sound scratching against the bowl, and it can't really move too much. And because of that, it's gonna have disadvantage on its next attack, which is now his turn. And it kind of flails around and.
So improvised attacks, I do not get 2 of those. 2 attacks because it was improvised.
Oh, actually, no,
It
you
should.
you should get another attack.
You get another attack. That's okay.
You get another attack. So like you, so actually, because you do that, it's just to flail around. And anytime it makes it, and anytime someone is in melee range as you make an attack, you take an additional 1d8 damage as the acid flails and flings onto you for 7 points of damage, acid damage. And like some of your feathers, your nice feathers are burned away in a chemical burn. It hurts a lot, actually.
Ow.
All right, now it is your turn again.
I'm gonna hit it.
Absolutely. And it does hit, but the same thing happens as you hit it. Your fork stabs into it, and again it flails around, and more acid flies onto you. And that was 13 points of damage. Okay. 1 second. Okay, and you go take another. Oh, and this time only one. This time you're prepared for it as it hits you right in the shoulder, the same place that you got burned before. It hurts a lot, but not quite as damaging.
I get my shield out.
And as a bonus action, you pull out your shield and it zips out. Okay.
Actually, I messed up. That's the wrong one. That was my raged.
I'll just
attacks.
subtract 2 damage to it then.
Yeah.
It's the same attack.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry about that.
So, alright, now it is its turn. It starts to flail around aimlessly as the bowl was smashed right on top of its head, and it's going to take a second to reform its head elsewhere, but the pudding first flails. Let's see who it hits first. 1 is Cici, and 2 is Aldys. It's going to hit Cici again. As just all of a sudden, that was 19. What's your AC?
20.
Barely, and the arm kind of flings out and almost hits you, but you manage to get behind your shield just in time. And thankfully, your shield is magical. And what appears to be burning away at your shield just does nothing, just smoke, just burns the air around it. And then the next, yep, and that is its turn. Tio, it is now your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna transform my living wood into a halberd.
Mm-hmm. You have reach.
Yep. And I'm gonna attack through Cici and Aldys.
Remind me, is a halberd a rain, piercing or
Affirmative.
slashing?
Oh, slashing.
Slashing? Okay, go ahead. That definitely hits, and you roll for 5 damage, and you do another. And what it appears to be, what wouldn't hurt it so much, it'd be completely immune to slashing damage. Your halberd hits it, and actually the magic around it flares out, damaging the creature. But as you hit it, first you're going to do 5 damage, and then all of a sudden, it splits into 2.
Oh no! What?
As it still has the same health, it's just reduced by half, so you're fine. Yeah, it's
don't
split
worry.
between them. So as you slash what appears to be a good chunk of the pudding, it splits into 2, and there's 2 of them now, and the helm or the pot is behind it at the moment, as it took its second to recompose. It's still your turn. What do you do?
I'm out of stuff I can do, so I'm just gonna spell out here.
All right, Aldys, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh, then I'm not out of turn for that. Shit. Nope, oh, hey! He's gonna act after Aldys.
Beautiful.
Alright, so it's your turn.
Alright, well, suppose I'll slash at this one, then the one in front of me.
Okay, go ahead. What is with the crits, man?
Hey! Hello, crit.
Hello, crit. And
Oh, look,
as-
those are 2 2s, huh? Isn't that funny?
Can you actually reroll on the crits?
Yeah, with the
Yeah, okay,
dice.
so roll ahead, roll a 2d6 again, and see. That's better. So that's 19 points of damage.
Should I? No, not gonna smite, man.
I'm
I'd
not
like
gonna
to, but,
smite.
like,
And as that happens, you slash it again. What appears to be what shouldn't have damaged it. There's this light that rips around your sword, and you cleave it very cleanly. There's not a chunk of its acid spills onto you. It's 1 damage.
Hey.
Hey, no. Okay, it hasn't actually hit you yet. And you only take 1 damage. Then again, it splits into 2.
I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna keep hitting it. I'm gonna keep hitting that one.
Yep,
there.
it's your turn
They're
again.
getting smaller.
Right, still your turn. Go ahead and attack. And that one kills it for sure. As this one here flops to the ground. It doesn't split in 2 because you're able to do the last remnants of damage, and your sword burns in this fury, and it just sizzles completely. It burns along your sword. Cannot eat anything else.
Oh, well, magic seems to work on it.
Right, now do you move? It's still, you have a movement and a bonus action still.
Nope, I'm not gonna move. I don't
You are
think.
not going to move. Okay. So it is now, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that is the. I'm going to end my turn with that.
Okay, now Kunal can't really do much because he can't move forward. Takes out a javelin, kind of steps up and fires it at the one at the back there. It hits, and actually, the javelin hits it clean in the head that is forming, and it pops like a zit with acid kind of flying everywhere. There's a satisfying kind of sound to it.
Oh, good shot.
Right? And so, thank you! And now, Mirrium, it is your turn. There's 1 left, one of its forms left. Oh no.
No.
Oh.
Oh no. No, okay, let's do a 1d2. See who this hits, Tia or Cici. No, isn't this the second time this has happened?
Yeah, you're not a great shot with that.
Oh no. Cici, you take 7 points of cold damage.
Can I take the bullet for her?
Alright, I'll allow it.
Protection fighter.
Yeah, no, Tio, I'll allow it. And Tio, you just you see this, and let's say the pudding just fires back an acid at Mirrium, causing Mirrium to completely lose track of her bolts from her talons. And seeing that, Tio, you step in the way of Cici, and you take the 7 points of cold damage instead, as a wash of just energy hits you in the back, and a sharp pain of frostbite courses through your body.
Oh, right through the shell.
Alright, Mirrium, it's still your turn. Do you move? And you have a bonus action. Okay. Cici, it's back to you.
I'm gonna poke it.
You poke it with your thing. Okay, go ahead. You hit it for 10 points of damage, and because it's piercing damage, it can't split in 2. You stab your fork into it, and it just kind of vibrates in pain. Right. And you attack it again for another 9 points of damage. It's still standing barely. And because you are in melee range, the acid flies back at you. And you take 9 points of acid damage. I didn't do that for... No, it's because you killed it. Yeah, it's because you killed it.
I thought that was, yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's 'cause you killed it. It can't react if you killed it. But this one's still alive, and you take another 9 points of acid damage. As you kind of poke at it, but as you poke on it, it climbs up the shaft of your spear and just flies in your face. And you're constantly taking points of acid damage. It's not good.
Okay, I'm gonna do second wind.
Alright, that's a bonus action?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, go ahead, roll it. And you're able to...
I think it is.
Yeah, it's a bonus action. You can use it as a bonus action. It's like it never happens. Ah. Okay, now it is its turn, and it's going to fire back right at Cici. And that's a 23.
Oh, no.
And you take another 8 oh god.
Oof.
That acid damage, though.
That acid damage to 48. And as you kind of recover yourself from the blow, the pseudopod itself just its arms trails up, and all of a sudden it folds to a fist and punches you right across the face. The acid splashing across your body. The punch itself isn't too bad. You've taken better, but the acid then seeps underneath the clothing that you have and starts eating at your feathers and your chest and your neck, and it just burns as you take 28 points of damage.
Painful.
Really, really painful.
I really wish I had more spells so I could cast
You will.
That'd be super
Yeah.
cool.
I don't have any. I need
Alright, Tio, it is your turn.
Alright,
By the way, you're not. 1 second, you're not wearing any armor, right, Cici?
Correct.
Thankfully not, because it would have eaten away your armor. Alright,
Alright.
Tio, it's your turn.
I'm gonna attack it with my halberd again.
Yep, and it's slashing.
Yep.
And, oh, it hits, but actually, it has 1 health left. It can't split anymore. It has 1 health left. It can't split in half. As it tries to split, but like there's this little wee little head that looks like it has hands coming out of its where the neck would be, and it's gonna try to fall away. So it's just
Oh
this
no, it's little.
it's so little.
And then I'm going to use, I'm gonna put my hand on Cici's shoulder, and it's gonna glow with a yellow light as I look at her in fear and concern. I'm gonna lay on hands here for.
That's a main
10.
action. You can't do that.
Is that a main action?
It's a
Damn
main
it.
action, yeah.
But it's just touching someone.
It's
well,
a main action because you have to like infuse your Holy Spirit or something. I
mind.
don't know. You gotta really lay the hands on them.
alright. Never mind, I'll do that next turn.
Yeah, lay on hands would be fucking broken if it was a main action actually later on.
You can recover literally 100 health in the future. That's level 20. But anyways, moving on. Tio, do you do anything else?
Nope.
Okay, and now it is Aldys' turn.
Ooh, this thing gotta die.
It has 1 health left. What do you gotta hit it? You gotta hit it.
Just punch it.
And you do manage to kill, and I'm actually not gonna change its size, I'm just keep it tiny. Still gonna move it on its side.
I put my sword on it, and it's just like
You put your sword on it, and you flatten it. And with that, the ooze dies. And as you notice, all the ooze around you in these little vats start to dissolve. And the smoke rises into
like
the air.
evaporate.
Yeah, evaporate.
Alright,
And
while
this-
this is happening, I'm gonna use not cure wounds, lay on hands on Cici
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
recover her for 10 HP.
Yep, you recovered 10 health, and 2 here was reduced below half health. And I think that was you.
I
Cici.
was.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. I think you've only done it once, right? Well,
Who
it
cares?
doesn't do anything anyways. Jesus, a 23. What would you?
26.
You would be exhausted, but it doesn't matter because you just kind of tough it out. But you're still in a lot of pain because that acid
Well, it's
after
because
like
I have Tio.
it's true. It's because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all like the burns and the marks, it singes into your skin. You're gonna have a couple scars from that because it's like chemical burns. It hurts. It hurts a lot.
Tio's kind of looking you over and making a lot of concerned noises like, oh no, are you okay? You're still.
I should be fine after the next molt.
And with that, all the vats of this ooze seems to just fade and disappear away.
I pour water on a cloth and I start putting it up against her burns to like reduce the swelling.
It does help a bit. And it helps with the pain. And Mirrium, what was it that you're about to do?
I'm gonna take a look back at that room that we were in. How's that acid in there looking?
Yeah, you step back. No, it actually all starts to evaporate and disappear.
Odd magic.
No, clearly he was farming the pudding.
What?
That's kind of the idea that you're getting.
Is pudding? Pudding's
Yeah,
delicious.
No.
To what end, though? This seems.
And as after speaking for a few moments and recouping your wounds, the ooze starts to recede into the small cracks in the ground. It's completely inert, but then you notice there's a small little bauble in the center, a purple gem that is glowing. It's glowing still, but the light fades away ever so gently.
I'm growing tired of these.
As it rests in the center of where it used to be the black pudding.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to just crush it under my foot.
You can if you want.
Another one of those special gems.
Yeah.
Oh
Or is it
yes.
just
Yeah,
No. It's the ones that you found, like for example, in
Like,
the.
yeah, this is just a. I mean, right now it is actually just a regular gem.
It is
similar
a
to
regular
the
thing, yes.
similar to the elemental. Is it similar to the elemental? I assume.
No, it's not similar. No, the elemental gem.
No.
The elemental gem is a gift to you guys from the
Oh
elemental
yeah,
himself.
yeah, not that one. I'm talking about like the. There was
The
a.
one from
The
the Gorgon?
gem that we found in the Gorgon.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
It
like that one.
it is almost like that one, but like you notice like there's inscriptions around the Mirrium. Do you pick it up?
Oh yeah.
So you kind of before Tia walks over and crushes it, you kind of hold on a second, and you pick it up and you look, and you see there's very small, like this is very fine. You actually have to take out your magnifying glass. You have a magnifying. I assume you have a magnifying glass. You take out your
Wouldn't have one written on my sheet.
But well, you do have one in your staff of useful things. I think you have one. I believe so. But anyways,
I don't remember where you put the list of what's on.
Oh,
I don't remember where it's actually available.
it's actually underneath your bio if you scroll down.
Oh, thank you.
So you do not, but I'm just gonna say you do. I'm just gonna say you do, and you kind of look through, and like it's this incredibly small, fine print of Eldritch writing, written in Undercommon. And all you see and all you hear, or not you hear, but all you see is just the word "grow" written on it.
That's a good question. What did it want it for?
Well, some extraplanar entity is weaponizing acid. I mean, it's not too far-fetched. What?
A little direct for a mind flayer, don't you think?
I mean, I have no formal experience with mind players.
You can roll a history check, Mirrium, to know if you completely know. Absolutely.
Do you suppose he was going to slowly trick his prisoners in it like a penny dreadful?
Or slow us down.
No. There are plenty of the, what were they called again? The Green Boys? Currently on the screen. I can't remember their name.
Oh, Quaggoths.
There are plenty of Quaggoths to do that. No. This is something different. The Emerald history here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, Aldys, just letting you know, I'm at 20 health, so I'll let you take the lead.
Is Aldys able to give me, like, would Aldys know enough to give me advantage, or?
Yeah, I remember that lecture that you talked
Yeah, you would next
That
time say that you're helping. So you don't.
Yeah, I was going to. That Cici
Okay.
was speaking.
That's
it's
fine.
fine.
Actually, no.
It's cool.
So you would have helped. 24. You would know that normal mind flayers don't worry about this. They only have like the regular scions of mind flayer culture, like Quaggoths and ogres, but you're dealing with an Utharid, which is a much more advanced and much more individual mind flayer. You would know in your histories that mind flayers tend to be born into servitude of the Elder Brain, but Utharids are so powerful that they have their own conscience. They have their own agendas.
No, maybe the guy just likes acid. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, I just realized something I have that I can do. I have a special ointment.
Yeah, you do have Kingdom Ointment. You can totally apply that to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out this little tub of it kind of looks like petroleum jelly, but it's got kind of a greenish tinge to it.
Yes, it's a salve.
And I'm like, hold still, Cici, and I kind of dip a cloth in it, and I start putting it on her wounds.
Ah, yes, Kyodom's ointment.
It is indeed Kyodom's Ointment.
Oh, is that actually what it is?
It is. It is Kyodom's Ointment.
Hey, question. Can I like
What?
scrape the universal solvent out of that brass bowl and just smother it on my armor?
Probably not enough.
So, Cici, you get this much.
I mean, I guess you can do a. What role would this be?
I mean, I'm
You get
literally
11
going to roll in it.
You take a day and you scrape out. Roll a D100 for me.
Sure.
Jesus.
Percentage of coverage?
Yeah, percentage of coverage. Oh my god!
Oh boy.
Save for
I'm
like
glad that I made sure to sell you or on. Or
Yeah,
rather, to
save
hold you
for
to that.
yeah, no, literally save for like a small part on the back end of your plate near your hip that is completely it's a nail essentially. You're able to scrape it off, and with the help of Mirrium, you create a little bit more of the solvent. You just kind of take a piece of cloth, you wet it with some of the solvent, turn into liquid, and just kind of roll it over your armor.
All right, that should keep anything from eating away
Jesus,
at me.
99! My God.
Hey, look, in the game I run, that would be a very bad roll.
Yeah, would be. Alright. You want to get the lowest rolls. But anyways, Cici, you're able to recover 11 points of health as this Kyoto's ointment kind of just rubs onto you, and you feel a wash of just soothe, and the pain that was there is no longer there.
I'm
It's
so
still-
relaxed.
Yeah, it's still numb to the touch, but it's just no longer painful. So what do you guys do?
Turtle Dad is best dad.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you a snuggle, a kiss on top of the head.
Right. Let me just move this to the side. Oh, no, there's no one there. There we go. So what do you guys do?
Alright, let's keep moving.
All right, I'll CC take a rest. I'll take point for now.
Thank you.
So go ahead and do marching order on the left side of the corridor there. So Kunal will try to stay behind, and Kunal will say, you fought valiantly. I will try to help out next time." And he has his shield out and a sword, or a flail, sorry. And he'll try to.
Don't sell yourself short. I saw you burst one of them.
Yes, after you had done most of the work. But anyways, let's keep moving.
I might give him a quick look-see. He's wearing mundane armor. Like, he's got completely mundane gear.
Yeah, he's complete Monday gear. Yeah.
No, you're not taking the front line of anything. Those things that eat right through you.
And he kind of clenches, and you see him grit his teeth, and he kind of nods, taking that.
Calm yourself, Kunal. We're dealing with things that are a bit abnormal right now. I need you to look for openings and then take advantage of that.
I'll do my best, lady.
Fighting a boiling creature made of black tar acid is not a place to bring out your pride. Quite honestly.
That is a fair point. I'll do my best to support the back line and move in and strike when I have the most opportune
You're
moment.
doing fine. I just kind of tap him on the shoulder.
And you tap him, and he kind of relaxes, and he kind of looks and says, "I've lived in Vagar's shadow for a very long time." And you know, again, a lot of Vagar's accomplishments, and you get the idea that Kunal wants to have that as well. He's lived most of his life looking up to the achievements of better men, and he's trying to do his best.
Cece's just, I have no idea who that is, but you're doing awesome.
One step at a time, Sergeant.
And what do you guys do now?
Let's move forward.
All right, so you guys go left or right?
Left or right, left or right.
Left,
Right.
left.
All right, so you see a door over here that is not locked. It's just a wooden door. There's no lights behind it. And do you open it?
I'm gonna put my ear up to it.
There is not a sound.
I've switched the lantern to
Yeah, absolutely.
like sphere.
There is no traps or of any sort as you reveal the lantern. It just seems to be a completely mundane door, and you divine sense, and there's nothing behind it. Though there is a lingering, very pungent aftertaste to your senses that kind of seems to assault them. But there's
Yeah,
nothing
just-
behind there.
I was gonna say, Mirrium, let me hold the lantern.
Yeah, I'll pass there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Alright, you see Tio kind of like make a face like he just smelled something really terrible, and I'm gonna kind of open the door a little bit and take a peek.
And the very end of the hallway, kind of peek in through, you see a table. And on that table, a body completely bisected open.
Oh, I'm gonna close the door before Cici sees that.
Inflated skin, it appears.
Yeah, it's flayed skin. Flayed. Completely.
Oh,
It's flayed.
Tio, why'd you close the door so quickly? I didn't see what was in there.
We're grown ups.
I wish I could show you the face right now that Miriam's making on my face.
I want to see what's in there.
No,
Please. Tio,
No,
please.
no.
Please. Please.
Go with all this.
I'm actually gonna look at all this.
Please, Aldys.
It's safe inside. Like it.
Paladin. Yeah, but Miriam needs
Yeah,
to know that from
yeah,
Paladin.
that's true.
Safe, yes. Rather unpleasant, though.
Why?
Actually, pass me back that lantern for 1 second.
Here you are.
I'm gonna step into this room.
All right, and as you step into the room, you reveal what appears to be a laboratory. Along the walls are jars of brains and other matters that you can only know are sinister creations. Glyphs and writings don't appear, but as you take the lantern, you kind of do a quick scan over the room. They're written everywhere, along the wall, on the grounds, written in text and scrambled words and in Undercommon that just boggle your mind. Studying the body, and as you walk up to it, it's completely inert, it's dead. You notice that its scalp is ripped off and the brain, and there's no brain inside. The skull is hollow and emptied and embalmed, and all sorts of contraptions and and tools on the table to the side. Seems that experiments have been done to this body. Very.
Yeah. Well, so it's been cut open. You said.
It's completely cut open. The skin has been ripped off. The brain is not in there. The skull is surgically removed. Like there's a very clean cut. But
You mean the cranium, like the top
yeah,
of
the
skull?
top of the skull, the cranium is cut and open. But the tools don't really seem to be used except for just holding things down. You see some scissors, you see some scalpels. But what appears to be these incisions and markings in the body, there's no trace of metal or wood touching them. You know,
They're in like impossibly clean cuts.
impossibly clean cuts. You would notice, absolutely. You've gone through
Oh yeah.
the moratoriums and stuff and watched your professors, your colleagues do these sorts of things, and there's always some mistakes, like sawing on the bones, some tearing on the skin. Nothing is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a trained in medicine and also a transmuter. I've definitely learned some surgery.
Absolutely.
Would you be able to tell like what tools were used to do it?
Oh, you can do a Arcana check.
I mean, does it look like someone just like transmuted? Like, does it look like it's that clean?
It's not
like
transmutation
that
clean. No, transmutation clean. Even with transmutation, there would be some residue because not everything is 100% to conversion. But this does not seem transmuted at all. I mean, you do see some transmutation magic along the walls and some things, and blood that has been turned, and you notice some of the black tar, the black acid, had been is inside one of the jars.
A jar.
In a jar, yes.
Just a regular ass jar. Does the jar itself appear magical?
The jar itself doesn't appear magical, but you get the feeling that whatever was lining the bowls is lining the jar as well.
Oh right, of course.
You see like a glisten in the light from the lantern that you're kind of going. Actually, when you put the lantern on top of it, you see like the specks of the solvent kind of
Yeah.
on it.
So, are there any identifying features to this? Like, could we tell who this person is if it's anybody significant?
Honestly, because the skin has been flayed, I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, you could do a history roll. I can tell you right now, it doesn't seem anyone you would know. It just from the body, it's like male, mid-20s, as best you can tell. But
You would need to already know this person, or
Yeah.
well, have the kind of
Yeah.
You would need modern technology to be able to determine.
Well, I just want to check and make sure it's not like the person, the mayor guy that we're looking for, or the lord, or anybody important, you know.
It could be literally anyone that we're looking for.
I mean, like,
Could
what,
be.
Not literally anyone.
So that-
anyone youngish.
I mean, who's youngish man? So yeah, probably not the guy we're looking for, honestly.
No.
yeah, it's mid-20s. Valentine is above 50.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take the jar of acid?
I mean, you could.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can totally pocket that. You take the jar of acid, and you have now a jar of. Let's just do jar of acid. It does. Say.
D8, because that's what the other things are doing. I mean, it
Yeah,
seems
but
right.
like, yeah, it seems about right. Yeah, well, it's just specs of it, but let's go with 2d8. Let's go with 2d8. Possibly 2d8 damage, yeah. Or it can like eat away at something like a thing. But anyways, with that, you kind of shine your lantern one more time, and you notice the very corner tadpole swimming in what appears to be a cauldron.
A tadpole?
A couple, yeah. You see like a cauldron made of like some clear green liquid.
I'm frowning. Brad out of character has a pretty good idea what those are. I think those are baby mind flayers.
Sick.
Can you tip it over and kill him?
Can you just kill them?
That's I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no,
probably-
you walk over to it.
after, I'm gonna do that before I leave. But I'm gonna like.
Yeah, you walk over in this cauldron, and this cauldron what appears to be made out of glass, not the regular iron. There's a seal on top of it, and you see about 3 tadpoles kind of swimming around. And there's a contraption kind of feeding into the actual vat, and you notice as you look up, you see all sorts of materials ranging from blood from humans to materials from creatures and reagents that you have no idea. Maybe have no idea about, but like all sorts of just chemicals kind of feeding into this vat. And every now and then you wait a few minutes, kind of more gets shot into the vat, and the tadpoles kind of swim around it, bathe in it, and glisten in this purple kind of sheen. What do you do?
You said the seal of the top is made of iron?
No, the whole thing's made of glass. Like the seal on top is also made
Oh,
of glass.
Alright, okay. Actually, rather than toppling anything over, so is there anything else in this room?
No, aside from what I described, not particularly.
I'm gonna kind of lean back in the doorway. T, are you still like looking in, or?
No, I'm not. I'm
I
kinda
think we're on sentry duty.
kind of like trying to block Cici's line of sight into it.
Well,
I'm
gonna
dancing
go
around trying to look in.
Tio,
Yeah.
I wave, beckoning you in.
I'll take your
Stay with all of
sentry.
us.
I'll take your sentry duty.
And Cici, you see an opening to move in, but then all of a sudden Aldys in their full clad plate armor just stands in front of you.
What is it?
And you come up and the
Point
first
at the glass thing, yeah.
and then, yeah, you get the same description.
We should remain vigilant while they do their work.
Let's see what's in.
I am gonna roll like an Arcana check though, just to make sure that I'm not making any assumptions here. Like, what do these appear to be?
Believe me, you do not want to see what's in there.
I guess it would be Arcana if it's
Yeah, it's Arcana. You can do Arcana, yeah. That's a 25. I mean, Cici, you can always just do an acrobatics check to try and slip through.
That's no fun.
Yeah. But Mirrium, with the 25 Arcana, you're able to tell, thankfully, they're not mind flayers. Thankfully. But they appear to be sort of, you know those intellect devourers? Not more than that, but they appear to be tadpoles that feed on the remnants of humans or whatever to grow in power. And the way that they're shaped is that you can slide them into somewhere, something, to take control in a much more inconspicuous way, like in a way that it's a lot harder to tell. Like for example,
Word is subtle.
Yeah, subtle.
Tio, okay, good. That's an even better plan then. Tio,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to bless this bowl.
What?
I tap the thing with my claw.
Well, you should get Aldys to do that.
I give him a look.
Tia just looks confused. I can't do that.
Tio, I want you to lay your hand on the bowl, and I want you to tell the tadpoles to get out of there.
Okay.
Just really mean it for me.
I put my hand on it, and I kind of focus it on it, like frowning. Nothing really happens. It's like, I don't really know what you mean.
So with that, you see Tio, his giant claws kind of touching. You try to push Tio to do something, but nothing really happens, and there's nothing magical that shoots out of her hands, or his hands. Sorry. So with that, you see these three little tadpoles keep swimming around in circles. Again, a few minutes pass, and more of the essence is shot into the bowl. What do you guys do?
I can go get Aldys if you need that.
Didn't Tio cast Perfection from Good and Evil?
Yeah, Tio.
I know.
Yeah, he's cast that before.
Yeah, when did you do it?
When I cast it on Cici twice when I was just being like all protective, and once on the
When we were
girl-
fighting
Bella.
the
Yeah, Bella. You also did it.
Belladonna, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's the 3 times they've seen me cast it.
Mirrium, you trying to bring that out of Tio?
Yeah, well, I want to give like something a little bit here. I really want Protection from Evil cast on this thing to see if doing that will affect these creatures like the intellect devourers. I need to know if that method still works, because if it doesn't, then we're in trouble.
I'm going to tap on the door. Is everything all right in there? Haven't
try to
heard
peek
anything
in.
for a few minutes. Cici, come now. Could you distract this?
Kunal sees this right now, and Kunal has seen how Cici has fought, and Kunal just kind of like, I don't think I could stop her even if I tried.
Fair point.
Okay, Mirrium is like rubbing her temples. Okay, Tio.
Yeah?
This is probably going to take a charisma check, and I'm probably going to fail it. I'm going to tell Tio a lie.
Okay.
Tio, I think some of our missing people have been turned into these tadpoles by these mind flayers. Now, this is something that they'll do. They'll store these people and turn them into horrible creatures. I know you don't understand what I'm talking about here, but well, I mean, maybe perhaps you're so comforting to people. Perhaps your presence here may calm them or affect them positively.
Oh.
A special Tio hug.
Yes, please hug the bowl.
Alright, Tio's gonna, he has no reason to, like, even think you'd be lying to him.
Oh no, it's so wholesome!
Yeah, I mean,
He doesn't know shit about this sort of stuff, and you're the expert. And also, like, he just doesn't expect you to lie to him. So he's just gonna, like, squat down and get on his, like, haunches and just kind of, like, look at the bowl and
While
put a
this
hand
is
on it.
happening, I would like to very closely observe Tio
Yeah, go ahead.
and like make Arcana checks, or like I want to like, because I've very clearly seen that this guy
Yeah,
has got
absolutely.
some kind of magic that he doesn't understand, but Mirrium really wants to understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna look at the tadpoles. He's gonna kind of, like, look into their eyes and see if he can see any, like, humanity left in them. And you can tell, like, you kind of stirred something in him. Like, he really, like, is upset about this. Like, these poor people have been turned into, like, these things. And, you see his, necklace kind of flare to life a little bit. I need to spend some sorcery points. Let's see, that's 2 points for, 2
1
plus
point.
1 for spell.
Which is a level 1 spell for protection from evil. Good.
Yep, okay, so that's 2 sorcery points down. And I cast protection from evil and good on it.
And your hand washes over the vat, and you notice all the bubbles and all the materials that had been put into this. Some of it starts to fizzle and glow and burns because a lot of very sinister concoctions. All the evil inside of that vat burns away. But to your surprise, Mirrium, and to your dread, tadpoles do not.
hey, wait a minute. Have a look at Cici's wounds.
Yeah, you can take a look at Cici's wounds.
Cici, let me make sure that acid didn't do more damage than we think it did.
I think it just mostly got on my feathers. I'll be fine after the first bolt. I kind of just showed.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at those wounds. Those wounds, I know how those are closed.
Yeah, they're fine. There's no concern that way.
Yup.
Okay, gonna grit my beak and suck in a whole lot of air.
And with that, what appeared to be before, and now once the thing disappears, you notice a lot of the tadpoles start to squirm around a little bit, panicked, because part of the essence that was inside of that is no longer there. And then before there were 6 containers. They just seemed to be containers, empty containers. 6 holsters, like 6. What are they called? Like they hold like vials or whatever. There are 6 empty, or there are 6 holes.
Tubes, you mean?
Yeah, test tubes.
Or beak
3 of them are missing.
fingers or-
Yeah, 3 of them are missing, and 3 of them are there.
Like, just now? Were they there before I cast
They were
spell?
there before, but they were so mundane that you just there was no like information. It just looks like it's a test
And
tube.
there are 3 tadpoles.
Yes, there are 3 tadpoles. And now there are 3 missing.
So Tio's is kind of squatting down, looking at these tadpoles. He's starting to, like, freak out, and he's, like, kind of freaking out a little bit too. He's thinking he did a bad.
And the
Oh no,
tadpoles
are they
freaking out.
okay? Mirrium, are they okay?
I'm gonna put my hand on Tio's shoulder, like, don't worry, Tio, you've done everything you can, and I'm going to point and look, or point and look, excuse me, point and tell him to look, draw his attention to the things that like stopped bubbling and like shut down.
Yes. It's kind of had a bleeding effect that some of the magic that had gone through the two kind of works both ways. Three of the vials that are kind of purple and green in color have all disappeared or faded away or have become inert from that.
Oh, okay. I look up at you and I kind of stand up. I still have my claws like on it, the cauldron. Do you think we can like help them get back?
No, I think perhaps I was mistaken. If they didn't revert, they did not disappear. Tio, this is very bad. Thank you for your help. You've eliminated one of the possibilities. I believe these are similar to the intellect devourers that we found earlier.
And the flashes to like these walking brain things.
Okay, now Tio just looks a bit confused. Wait, okay.
Except the normal method that we have of removing them will not work.
Oh. I kind of frown down at them.
Oh, the Arcana check, Alex.
Yes.
While that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Roll that.
No, unfortunately, you do not.
Damn.
You're still taken aback by the fact that now they have quote-unquote intellect devourers that are immune to being detected. That thought is terrifying to you.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
Pour that acid in.
No. Tio, I want you to smash this.
But you're sure they're not the
I
people?
have never been so gravely sure of anything.
Oh, okay. And I kind of like just bring my shell down on it like I would.
Yeah, you tackle it, and it breaks, and like the liquid starts to pour out, and the tadpoles try to swim away along the current, but I assume you swish them.
Oh yeah, when they hit the ground, like, right, we just smash them.
Yeah, you get it dead. You don't have to make a roll for that. And like the three tadpoles, one jumps out, you squish one, another one jumps out and you squish one, and the last one jumps out and kind of squirms into Tio. It looks like it's about to climb into your ear, but Mirrium flicks it off and like smacks it against the wall and like takes your staff. He's like presses against it like 50 times until it's dead.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, we don't want that to happen. And like, I can't describe the look of fear on Mirrium's face at that almost happening, but it's real powerful.
Yeah.
It startles you as like
unsettled.
Like the tadpole like grew like 50 legs and it climbed up your arm and it looks like its mouth opens to like teeth inside of it, but to jump into your ear, but Mirrium manages to like smack it away.
I'm kind of like recoiling. That's like almost creepier than the like flayed body on the table. Actually, no, it is a lot creepier. I've had some time to adjust to the table body being there. We should go.
No, we should trash this place first.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was totally gonna say trash this place. Okay, I was like, man, I wonder how much like shit I could fuck up with this magic sword. Just like all these fucking yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wait for Mirrium because
I'm actually gonna leave out and just pass all this through. Like, yeah, just fuck that place up. That's his last.
No, Mirrium says that in character. And then
No!
No, I say that.
No!
Yeah.
Tio, let's fuck.
No,
Oh.
Mirrium is way too unsettled right now.
Exactly, what I'm
to,
saying.
Like, have the teacher voice on. Like, no, she is. That's his fucking. Just fuck it up.
No, like this
Say
is like
no more.
You've heard Mirrium swear twice in your entire life. This is the second time.
Yeah.
I'm
Tio,
gonna.
what's fuck mean?
Oh no. She was like too upset to even do anything about that right now. This is
And,
just like another weight on him.
And as Cici,
Can I fuck it as well?
Oh God!
No.
Hey. Goddamn, horny session for real. Goddamn.
All right, so Mirrium, as you leave and Aldys steps in, you see you peer inside and you see a broken vat of this green clear liquid, followed by a dead body on the table. You catch a glimpse of that, Cici, and now all of a sudden Aldys is just smashing everything.
Yeah, I'm
And also like
crashing
just
stuff with my
just
stuff.
fucking flinging holy water everywhere. Fuck this place up.
And you singe. You hear a lot of like burning singes as you fling the holy water everywhere. It's after about 10 minutes of thorough messing everything up. Exterminatus, essentially. You set the room on fire, just leave it.
Yeah, fuck it, burn it. Burn it
And
down.
you light a torch, and you
Burn the body, burn the...
Before that happens, I want to kind of like stand over the body and like sprinkle some holy water on it and like say some last rites. Like,
it's a good thing you did that, because as you did the holy water and you do a Jew check, the body starts to spasm and twist and then goes inert as finally you see a semblance of a soul kind of leaving its body.
Ah, yes, this thing is going to return to soul. Burn it. Burn this body. Burn all the knowledge gained from this body. No. N-O.
So
all of this was geared toward doing very awful stuff.
Yeah, so we destroy the room and we burn it, I guess.
As for the writing, actually,
yeah, you can totally take notes on it and write it down in your journal if you wanted to do that.
I will.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to dispel it if I can. Is it just like magical? Like
it's not magical in a sense. It's just that's just how whatever these creatures write. They write in glyphs so that when another one comes its way and touch it, they get the knowledge back. So it's sort of like a telepathic communication. So like it's like writing a recording onto a glyph, and then they touch it, and whatever the glyph was saying, because you can speak Undercommon, you can understand it when you touched it with your talents. But yeah, it kind of like reads back in your mind as if you're reading a book in your head.
Well, actually, while they're trashing up this place, yeah, Mirrium's just gonna let Cici, like, they're trashing this place up, like.
And Cici, you finally get to step inside the room after all this time.
Can I fuck it up too, TL?
Let her, but Mirrium's not, like, she's more concerned about this right
yeah,
now.
the writings, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
me listening to some of these and, like, maybe, I don't know, it's probably just gonna have to be at random. It's not like any of them are gonna look more important.
No, yeah, it's random. You kind of put them all, but you start to hear a voice in the back of your head. Day 4. The experiments are going as planned. Should any of the other brain's creations come this way, use the materials written on this glyph, and you'll be able to recreate Devourers in a way that the humans and the others cannot sense them. I have already made 3 successfully, and I have sent them to the predisposed locations. Expect more to happen. We are growing in the chamber. Lord Wallenheim's resources and his influence has allowed me to do such. And it's kind of like, that's the gist you get from all, and most of the other glyphs are just methodologies and how to do it, and you get some very, very disgusting and horrific explanations of how to recreate this with human bodies and etc.
Disgusting. All this is bigger than this area. There were 3 of them here. There are 6 of them that are made, and well, anywhere that Lord Wallenheim could have sent them to is where they could be.
Of course.
It's 3 across the whole valley, I'd say.
To investigate further, he most likely sent them to important people. So
Who has to know about this?
Immediately. We'll send a runner. But with the Vestosian entourage passing through here soon, I'd rather stick around. They could be the target as well. For all we know, then you'd think...
Weren't there 3 people we were waiting on?
Those numbers, huh? It's a possibility we need to consider.
Well, fuck.
Cici!
Good.
You know, I'm so happy I decided to choose Mind Flayers as the villain for the first part. Oh god, this is amazing.
Yeah, dude, Mind Flayers are always fucking good. Yeah.
You know, and Mooney, in my defense, that wasn't really how I intended to do that. That just came out of my mouth.
No, it's fine.
I have a much better plan of how I'm going to teach her how to properly curse, but that's later.
Oh
no.
Goodness.
That's during.
But anyways, God, I love this so much. The intrigue.
Can I join in the fucking?
Oh
Not
god.
to say. I'm gonna
And
go
so-
out. I'm gonna put my hands on
And-
Cici's
and
shoulders.
Canal-
I think that cracks me up while I'm listening to one of these,
Yeah.
like, disgusting, and she's, can I join the fucking... Well, you might as well at this point, too.
and Kunal puts a hand on your shoulder, Cici, and Cici, if that is your name, just so you know, that's a very bad word, and I would recommend refraining from using it in such verbose terms.
What do you mean by bad words? How can words be bad?
Vulgar,
It is-
improper, rude.
It's not for... excuse me, it is not for polite company.
Oh, are we in polite company right now?
And Kunal's
Oof.
Hmm.
Mirrium just, like, takes a breath and kind of, like, small smiles, and Cici just...
Cici, you know how you can say things that hurt people, and you can use words to hurt?
Yes.
That word's really good at that. So you shouldn't use it unless you really want to hurt someone.
Or you really mean it.
Oh, fuck.
Ugh.
Cici.
I can't tell if that was wrong to you.
anyways.
Regardless, there's more
Tear
pressing
just
issue.
came out across his forehead. We have more important
Over
things to worry
here,
about.
Aldys, you peer over, and what appears to be green light shimmering underneath that door.
Was that there before?
No, it was, well,
It was there, but like we didn't notice it with what
yeah,
with the
but because
body
you
there.
stepped closer to it, you do it, when you step over here, you see like green flickering underneath the floor. I'm just going to review all of this here for you guys. What do you guys do?
Well, I investigate this first.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the rest of you guys? Kunal's kind of following.
Do we still have the brass bowl that's coated in stuff?
I mean, you could totally have picked it up.
Well, is it still coated in things?
I don't think so. I think it's
It's
on my
no
armor
longer
now.
coded. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's no longer coded in that. But this is empty. What appears to be what used to be the black tar is now gone, completely. Thankfully.
Wait, wouldn't that mean that this is also coded in the universal solvent? Weren't they all coded in the universal solvent?
That's true. Yeah, that one is coded in
Yeah,
this,
so this
one
one
here.
definitely still would be.
It's because you use it as a weapon, and when you use improvised weapons, they tend to break very easily. But this one here, you can totally take that hole if you want.
Also, being a living pudding, he was probably eating through that too.
Mm-hmm. On the opposite side, because the whole thing wasn't covered, just the inside part. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna go check out these doors.
So this one over here, all you hear is just snarl behind that door, and chains, and just
don't
like just scratching and chains.
I'm not even gonna bother using divine sense.
Yep. My senses tell me there's something in there.
Yes, well, the green light is from this door, and this one over here is a door that you hear just snarling and chains, the sounds of chains being pulled against something.
I see. Can I go peer through the... Is there a keyhole on this door right here?
This one over here?
Yeah.
There's nothing. It is actually a metal door that is closed shut. But you put your ear, well, you have to take off your helm, but by taking off your helm, put your ear, you hear just murmurings and mumbling behind that door.
Metal door, though. Can't tell what's
It's
happening.
really hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like it's like an inch thick.
And I'm good at that.
So, you know that there's
Mirrium. I beckon to Mirrium. Under the door. There are voices on the other side.
I'm going to, sort of like lean my hand down and summon my familiar.
Yep.
Have him stick his little head underneath.
It's a very tight squeeze, I can tell you that. But
Oh
It-
yeah, I don't want him to like. I just want to like him to be able to see into it.
oh yeah, absolutely.
He
You
doesn't
can.
need to go in. I just need to be able to see under the door immediately.
All right, you can totally see under the door, and I'm gonna reveal this much to you because it's a narrow corridor that leads into a bigger room. And let me go ahead and do this.
You can hear too, right?
Yes, but it's a very tight squeeze. And let me do this just a little bit more. You can see. All right. At the very end of the narrow hallway, you see a very large open circle on a wall, green, and there is an image of someone. It's hard to tell behind it. One of the guards stands over there, wearing the armors of Wallenheim. And because you can see, Wallenheim is there as well, and it looks like Wallenheim is speaking into the portal, very angry, very agitated. You see black splotches and purple marks all over his neck and the back of his neck, and his hands covered in the two. He's very angry, and you can't see his face. You can't really tell what he's saying. You can sort of hear some things, but there seems to be almost this veil around here, a shimmering veil that keeps sound from leaving, as it seems to be centered around whatever this is over here. But you do hear the murmurings.
As soon as I see Wallenheim, I whisper, Wallenheim's here.
Oh, should we kill him?
No. At least not yet.
He's speaking to the... I assume it's the creature. One of his servants.
We should devise a plan. Pull your familiar bags. Go under. Check this one out.
Yep. So Tia, you're over there. Do you want to check inside?
No, I'm gonna let Mirrium's familiar do that first.
Oh yeah. Do you want the familiar to do that real quick?
I mean, did you guys hear that it was...
Yeah, there's something snarling behind it. You hear chains.
I mean, I can take a look if you don't want your familiar getting it.
I mean, this is what you're going to take a peek.
It's more than it would be. It's more than it would be a waste of time, because I can tell from the build this room that I feel pretty strong assumption that is a small room on the other side of that is not gonna connect anywhere.
That's what I want to make sure of. Yeah.
I feel like
All
very
this-
strong, but if you insist,
All right.
I'll do that.
Yep.
Yes,
Your
please.
familiar.
I just wanted to...
I'm gonna do that.
And as you kind of peer underneath,
Barely enough to get the sight.
you see a Quaggoth chained up and muted. And it has been fighting for a very long time. As you notice, some of the matted fur around its wrists have been like torn, and there is some dried blood, and he's just pulling and pulling and growling and is trying to get out. I can't, because he's chained up pretty good.
What kind of door is that?
It's a wood door.
Okay,
The
what
Quaggoth
is...
sapient?
I don't think so, actually. That's kind of why the Mind Flayers like them.
They're more like animals.
Yeah, you can think of them like, kind of, like... Almost
I mean, not
undead.
a
Not only
teal,
undead,
not a-
but more, like, instinctual.
Okay.
We will tell you that. But, hey, how big is this thing?
It's about 2 feet in diameter.
And how heavy?
20 to 30 pounds.
Oh, I can't do small measurements.
Yeah.
Is there anything to barricade the door with? That is the question. Actually,
You just wedge something underneath it.
oh yeah, how could I forget door wedges?
And as it starts to pull and pull, and
I have a long sword. I'm gonna wedge the long sword under the
Yeah,
door.
you watch the long sword, and before you do that, Tio, you kind of see, or no, not Tio, because Mirrium can only see this. You kind of see like tears streaking down its face.
Oh no.
It kind of,
Do I know it? What the fuck does that? I don't know what to think of that with a Quaggoth doing that.
it's true. And the Quaggoth kind of pulls and pulls, and after a few minutes, it just slinks, and it just kind of resigns itself to its fate.
Okay, hold on now. Wait a minute.
Now, hold on. Well, before I even relay that information, though, Alex, I want like an Arcana check, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty jarring to you. I can't exactly tell you how well, but you know that this Quaggoth seems to be slightly different than the rest.
Yeah, hold on. I like turned to Aldys and it's crying. I kind of have a really like disturbed, confused face.
It's what?
What?
Yeah, I'd like some help here, Aldys.
Can we save it?
You know about this shit too.
I'll try.
Would Aldys be able to help? Would Aldys be able to help at least? Like,
Try help what?
I want it with the Arcana check to be like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, it could.
Well, if it's sympathizing emotions, I mean...
It's not the fact that Aldous knows, but because you have seen it so much, you see some marks of something sewn around the top of its scalp.
Oh, they put the brain in the Quaggoth. They put the brain in the Quaggoth.
Oh no. Gio just kind of goes white and he covers his mouth with his claws.
No. Can I open the door? No.
Open the door.
You can absolutely open the door. if you
Oh,
want.
I opened the door.
How secure do those chains look? Hold on, before how secure do those chains look before?
They look pretty secure, but Cici wants to open the door, so I'm gonna allow Cici to open the door.
Yeah, I just probably shoved my ass out of the way.
Yeah, like unless someone physically.
Room, I want it open now.
Yeah, it opens, and the Quaggoth, as you open it, the Quaggoth looks up, and its eyes light up, and what appears to be what would normally be completely black and glazed over, there's some white to the pupils, not pupils.
I'm gonna like lean in. I'm gonna like lean in on the.
And it kind of like
one feather up over my mouth or over my beak.
And its arms pull, and it's not threatening, but anyway, but its eyes light up, and it's currently muted right now. Like there's something covering its mouth. It's gagged, and it kind of growls a little bit, but it whimpers.
Right, but I insistently shake the feather over the finger over my beak. Shake my head no.
And
I'm also like directly addressing it. I'm hoping that it's coming through. That hey, I understand.
Yeah.
Something
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Be quiet.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Yeah. Can I get maybe?
I'm gonna give you advantage on that.
Yeah. Tio is like, wait, relax, hold on, calm down.
Yeah.
Because the first thing the Quaggoth saw was just an armed harpy walking in. It's a 15, and thankfully, because he got the advantage, Mirrium goes like, ooh, but then Tio also comes around, and his warming presence makes it calm. It just stops.
I want to take the thing off.
I'm going into the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go in.
Yeah, you go in, and you take the gag, and the gag is very, very inhumane. It actually traveled down a bit of its throat too, and you pull it out,
Jesus.
and you throw it to
I
the.
ask him, like, yeah, when I pull it out, like, what's your name, son?
It can't speak common, but it's trying really hard to.
Calm yourself. Can you?
I pat it
You can
tight.
understand us, right?
And it nods.
All right. Quaggoths, they have claws and stuff, right?
They do have claws, but the way that he's been chained, like the fingers have been like spread open, it can't really do much.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm
try
not
and take
shaming,
those
like,
chains
oh.
off, yeah.
Hey, what are those chains made of, Alex?
Iron
Iron.
and steel, yeah.
No, they're not.
Oh, you're right.
Iron?
You're right. You kind of touch it and it just disappears.
Well, that's not how that works.
I mean, yeah, but what do you turn it into?
So for each 10 minutes, I can transform up to 1 cubic foot of the
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
I really would just like to chain, like.
The links
I'm
itself?
actually gonna give him some chains to work. Yeah, like the links closest to the wall.
Yeah, it takes like a minute at most because you're on
Yeah,
short
just
time.
like a link. I just want to turn them into into wood.
In the wooden, they kind of like they break off and it falls, and it kind of completely collapses to the ground.
I'll
It's
catch
sprawled
it.
out. It's panic. It falls into Tio's arms, and it breathes, and the tears, just nothing but tears, and it's trying to talk. It looks like it's so frustrated that it can't use the words that
If you weren't a commoner, I'm going to reach into my book and pull out my bottle of ink and quill, a roll of parchment, and hand all of those to Tio. And I'm actually going to go run back and start viewing what's happening in the other room real fast because I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of.
Alright, first I'd like to take the wrist restraints off.
Yeah, you
He
do.
said there was doing something to his hands?
No, yeah, they were essentially like they're making the fingers really wide apart so that he couldn't use his claws.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna put some the Kerrigan's ointment on it to like, because I imagine they were pretty like
Yeah.
dug in.
You notice that the fur, the matted around the fur and in the skin, because it's been struggling so much, it's almost raw, and you see a lot of blood kind of trailing down its arms.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
been
gonna-
struggling for a while, and you can totally use one of your Kyoto's ointment. Roll the health.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's 11, and you kind of rub it on his wrist, and for once in a long time, it feels just calm. And it kind of sits across legs, and its arms are much longer than its legs, kind of like slumped over. And after whimpering for a little bit, then you rub the cloth. Takes a minute or two to completely glaze over the wounds. What do you do?
All right, I'm gonna give him the parchment and the quill and the ink.
And
You ready?
he starts to pick up the quill, but it just falls out of his hand, and picks up again, falls again, and just gets really frustrated and panicked. But then
All right,
he just
hang on.
dips the nail that he has.
Yeah,
one of
I
the
was like,
claws.
dip the claw.
He tips the
Oh.
claw, and it actually, what it does, it shatters the vial because he has no control over this whatsoever. But on the ground, he starts to write. And what's? Oh, sorry, you're asking him a question.
No, I was gonna. It's fine. That works too.
I did ask him what his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your name?
No,
No, write it down.
And then he's writing. He's very frustrated right now. He kind of takes the claw and he writes the letter E, E-R-I-C on the thing.
Do we know an Eric?
No, you don't know it.
Let me check our notes.
Well to do enough that he knows how to read and write. Then again, I guess I don't know how common that skill is in our area. Like, actually, it'd be pretty common since we have enough resources.
Yeah.
There's basic education. Everyone would know how to read and write if they come from a town.
Oh, nice.
Eric,
How long have you been here?
And he writes down, don't know, 1-2 months, lost track.
he was kind of like biting the side of his lip. This is like completely outside his realm of expertise. He doesn't really know how to handle this, but he's doing his best.
Are there others like?
Has Tio even like put together what's happening actually? Because it's not like Mirrium really explained this except like all this.
No.
Are
You
there
didn't really
others
explain it to
like
me. I
him?
just know.
And Cici, as you
Fair
asked,
enough, yeah.
Cici, if you ask, are there others? And he writes, no, I was written patient 0.
Patient. What?
And you notice around his neck there's like a collar, patient 0,
You
written
gotta
in
take that off.
Yeah, you take it off.
It appears they had plans to make more of these, giving human intelligence to these creatures like this.
Hey, Alex, has there been any like changes in the room? Are they still talking?
No, there's talking. It's getting more and more animated. One of the guards kind of looking down, and because you like Snake has been down there for so long, can you roll a stealth check for the Snake, please?
Oh yes, I don't know what kind. I think snakes get like a +8 bonus or something.
Yeah, they do get a +8 bonus.
Do I just roll my stealth and then
1d20 +8.
bonus?
Just roll 1d20 +8.
Okay. That works.
Yeah.
Sweet.
One of the guards kind of glazes over the door, kind of narrows his eyes, and just goes back to doing what he was doing, watching. And doesn't notice your Snake, but you notice it's getting more and more animated. All you see is just that one guard because of how narrow the line of sight is, and the occasional Wallenheim, kind of like his arms kind of off to the side, kind of flailing around.
I'm gonna say, I guess, to just the sergeant who's the only one listening.
Yeah, sergeant's there.
Wallenheim is having a disagreement with. What was the thing called again?
It's a mirror. It's a portal mirror.
Well, yeah, but I'm assuming it's the special Illithid. What's the special Illithid called again?
Ulthard.
The Ulthard.
Cornell says, do you know if the Ulthard is here or not?
No, he's speaking to it through a magical communication device. Wallenheim isn't in control. An Illithid's thralls don't argue with him.
That's concerning. And back into the room where Cici and Tio and Aldys are. It continues scrawling. It's panicked. It's calmed down, but like just it's not used to this at all.
I asked who did this to him.
Doctor.
I knew he was no good.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna tell the sergeant, I'm going to keep an eye here. If we bust up in here, it's going to know that we found him. Let them finish, and we get him when he tries to come out.
Sure. And he nods.
Sort of planning with the sergeant. Yeah, it's not like he's in a position to.
No, he kind of nods and he kind of braces himself with the shield and the flail, kind of waiting for the signal. All right.
Can I like really softly, quietly, not too loudly, just kind of hum to the Quaggoth?
Yeah, you can absolutely. And you kind of sing
Try
a
to
very
calm it down.
soothing tone. It calms and it writes, and it kind of snips. And actually, one of the tunes you sing, its ears kind of it turns in your direction, and it's a song that he recognizes. And it kind of reminds him of home. And he continues to write, and he gives you more information. As a doctor, he actually isn't from the valley. He is from the Ungoshan Empire.
Oh no.
So it's not the doctor that we thought it was.
No, the doctor we
That
think
guy
it
was
is
from-
from Ingosh.
No, the doctor you think it was is not is from Vistosia,
Zero
but
Vistosia.
but that doesn't mean that he can't be from Ingoshen as well.
Also true. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he can't.
You don't know
travel.
much information about him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know the man's history. Well, Mirrium would make that assumption.
Yeah, Mirriam could make that assumption.
Probably.
And,
Yeah, but with Vistosia, like emissaries passing through, I mean, there are too many
Yeah, this is
it's too coincidental.
coincidences.
Well, it's clear what happened here. It seems that Lord Vallenheim's avarice on his disease has gotten the better of him. He could have even been intentionally inflicted with this disease in order to make him falter and give way to treason such as this. So, I think there's only one thing that can be done at this point. Mirrium, how are they?
They're arguing.
Odd.
The Vallenheim isn't under thrall.
Clearly. Which means he is completely sane while doing this. Perhaps under duress.
And
Still.
implicit.
Hmm.
Implicit.
Well, there's only one answer for that, then.
I'm gonna hold up my hand. Well, let's not let the Ulithid know that we're exactly. Well,
I agree. We're going to wait for him to come out.
actually, I'm having second thoughts about that. He already knows. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull out the snake. Real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
and just
kinda
so I
right.
can see and actually talk to Aldys. Look at her.
Yeah.
I mean, they already knows that we're here. What more information could we give it?
You're thinking an intimidation tactic. I would like to get Vallenheim alive if possible, just to see what's happening, but...
I kind of look off to the side. I don't presume to intimidate an Illithid. Even under direct threat, that's not likely to work.
Intimidate is the wrong word, I suppose. Fair point. I wonder if our friend in the next room would be, apt for revenge.
I want to ask him if he wants to come with us.
I can tell you. Yeah, he says I can come. You're friends, yes?
We are, and it appears your lord has betrayed you, and he has stuck you in that body of his own will.
And it starts to growl and get angry. Its claws start to flense out a little bit.
I give it some rations. What do my rations do, by the way?
Oh yeah, he eats it and he tries to be civil about it, but it's very difficult. And then he hasn't eaten in about a week, and he starts to devour it all.
I'm having a paranoia. I'd like Tio.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kind of pull Tio off to the side a little bit. Like, he needs to understand that he needs to not. His newfound strength is going to. I'm worried that he might tear apart the lore before we have a chance to question him.
Oh no, you would know that the Quaggoth, his lord isn't Vallenheim. He actually is from the Ingoshen Empire. He he writes more, and he's a militant. He's a militant from the Ingoshen Empire.
Sorry, your country has betrayed you.
And he looks and he narrows and he nods. He writes more information that he signed up for a program. And this was the program.
Oh, that's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, that's bad.
I'm not what you did. I mean the Ingoshen's trucking with Illithid.
The Ingoshians would do anything at this point to gain sovereignty over Yselle.
That's not how dealing with these creatures works.
I never said they were
Wait,
smart, and they probably don't understand the arcane very well.
Did you know you were going to end up working with the Lithans?
He just
Probably
shakes his head.
don't even know what lithids are.
Tio, what are Angoshans?
Nothing to worry about right now.
Mirrium snorts when you say that.
Are they evil?
No, they're. Mm.
Starting
It's
to sound like one of the
complicated.
politicians. Listen, if we're going to do this, we need to do it.
Agreed.
I'll explain later, okay? Listen, Eric, you might be a lot stronger than you think you are. So I need you to just be careful out there, okay?
Don't do anything to get yourself hurt.
And it
Put it
nods.
on the head.
It nods.
So I'd very much like you alive, as well as Lord Vallenheim in there. Fancy Lord, don't rip him to shreds, please.
Ooh, when this is all done, we can introduce you to an ogre friend.
Actually, That's not a terrible idea. The injustice served upon you is, I'm afraid, irreversible at this time.
And you see him like as you say that, he gets really sad and his eyes start to glaze over in rage and his claws go out.
Hold on.
But he calms down. He's not threatening. He's just really angry. And then his tears are out. I can tell you that. And there's nothing but
Hold
this.
on,
Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep getting overexcited and interrupting you. I'm sorry. Try to stop doing that.
No, you can interrupt me.
I mean, well, I'm going to like go in there and on Aldys like, oh no, hold on, I actually might be able to do that. It's going to take some time, but well, we'll see about it.
Indeed, but first we must live through this.
Yes.
And with that, bright light starts to flicker underneath this door even more so than before. And we are going to take a break for 10 minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Kill, maim, destroy. I'll be back.
So yeah.
Hey, it's pretty good so far. I like this.
This is a lot.
Yeah, welcome to deeper into the campaigns.
Like, it's good.
It's as I said, I like to take standard fantasy tropes and turn them on its head or inflate certain things about them because I find it most interesting.
I mean, it's very, very good. Like, I like the whole brain operations. This is a very neat thing to do with it.
Yeah, I'm noticing that I'm trying to balance because I enjoy DMing the combat a lot, but I want to have a good balance so that it's very interesting. There's a reason why the combat is happening. And,
Well, yeah, you always need combat with a meaning. Otherwise, it's just like, you might as well run a written module.
fucking slog.
Yeah, I don't care much for the slogs. Meaningful combat is where it's at. So, you know, you want like an environment combat to like set the tone and environment where you're at, then you want exploration.
I kind of like the what I do a lot. Oh, I do a lot is Game of Thrones storytelling. Like, you knew the Black Ooze has been there for a while, and eventually that Black Ooze came into something.
Yeah, like your little hints and things like that. Yeah.
I find it a lot more interesting.
Oh, I love peppering that shit in there. Now the problem with me is I sometimes wait just a little too long for the.
That's not a problem to me.
Well, yeah, it's a problem for some impatient people that may play with me.
That you live with?
That I live with.
Hey, if it is getting a bit much, you can just tell me, and I can tone it back a bit if people weren't comfortable with it.
No,
Oh
it's
no,
not
no, no.
it's
As long as you stay away
no.
from the big no-nos, like you're fine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I think you personally kind of know.
I know what the big.
Where
Yeah, I know where the line is.
where we personally draw the line.
I mean, like, I can definitely, for D&D, it really depends on what kind of game you're running, but, like, I can get to some very uncomfortable things, like, in D&D,
I do not
because there's some
describe it.
very,
I do not describe it. I do not describe it. I say that it's there, but I don't describe it.
yeah, leave that to
Oh
me.
yeah,
Like, the gore and stuff is left to the imagination.
things like that. I mean, use them properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
just
mean,
tone.
Should include something like that, like I guess we can talk about like the things of like the depictions of things on the temple.
mm-hmm.
For instance, it was kind of like, yes, these people are depicting this, and they're fucking gross for it. Like that's sort of like the context of it.
Like, it's supposed to punch into, like, oh, these people are, like, fucking, like, degenerate, deranged people.
But like, again, I probably wouldn't have even done that personally.
Actually, one thing I noticed.
kind of glossed over it.
One thing that I noticed a lot throughout the years, is also reading books and also reading novels and fantasy stories and DMing, is describe just enough so that the imaginations of the players go wild.
Yeah, also playing helps, too, sometimes, because you need that other perspective.
Yeah, that's true. I read a lot the novels. Like, for example, there's one series that I absolutely adore, written by Brandon Sanderson, the Stormlight Archives. I look up to him a lot in a lot of the storytelling and the way he writes, especially the action scenes. And he doesn't describe a lot like, for example, R.A. Salvatore would write. And if anyone has read an R.A. Salvatore book, you would know. You would know.
I mean, it's really just the fight. He likes
Like,
describing the sword fight.
authoring-
He's an IRL sword boy, so he knows about sword boy things.
Yeah, it helps, but,
He's just
like,
look at all the sword boy things I know.
authoring combat scenes and is very, like, I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't know how you
I
do
actually
it.
enjoy it a lot. But the thing is that you can't. If you describe every minutia of detail, what ends up happening is
Yeah.
it starts to it starts to drag on into slog. And sometimes just saying something like, he does a twirl and a flip over a table for a strike, everyone plays it differently in their head. But it still gets the point across that the dude's acrobatic as hell, right? You don't need to describe, he jumps off his left foot, he twirls around, spinning 3 times. It's like,
That's nice. I mean, the thing that I liked about R.A. Salvatore is when he did that when it was dramatically appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't get into vampire speed, we're okay, but like...
No. But like, I mean, there were, specifically, I'm thinking about just the Dritz and Terry fights.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
those were good.
No, those are amazing. That shit was great. Like,
Because it was
I'll be right back.
like,
Yeah.
Or Dritz and his dad fighting, that was always really good.
yeah, the flashbacks. But like, the thing is, Dritz and Thousand Arrow got a little bit,
God.
a little bit too
Mini
self-indulgent.
Arrows, or did he change his name or something?
No, Mini Arrows, you're right,
Or he's
sorry.
Obold Mini Arrows.
Yeah, Obold Mini Arrows. It's not to knock on Salvatore. I enjoyed him. I grew up on him.
Well, that's when I stopped reading because he thought Bruner was dead again.
Yeah, no, it starts to go
And I
into
was just
comic
like-
book.
and he's, the problem is exactly the comic bookness because he started to do the exact same thing again.
Yep, yeah.
The exact same character arc
Yeah.
that he already did, and I'm like, I'm done with this. We've had so many books of this.
Yeah, it was up to book 12 that I started to stop caring, because it's like I like as much as people meme Driss and everything. I did like his character. I did like his growth. I always like characters who break the mold. You know.
It wasn't a cliche whenever he was made.
Yeah, I mean exactly.
So, yeah,
He made the
like,
cliche, which is great. But it's something that I noticed that I'm trying to really hard to do. But the thing is, I tend to after the fact notice that I under-describe things sometimes because I see it in my head, but I don't do a good job describing it to my players. And that's something like I am writing notes to my side here saying, remember to describe shit. So it's part of the immersion. Like I did that a lot with Stars Without Numbers, but that's sort of like my training ground essentially, you know? Learning being able to describe different scenarios also helps with others because you know what not to describe in the sense of fantasy compared to what you can in sci-fi. But anyways, I'm actually really enjoying DMing this campaign right now because of how everyone kind of plays off each other. And it's like, I know that you guys are smart about it, so I can just say enough for you guys to fill in the blanks for the rest. It's great, great. I don't have to deal with the passive-aggressive rogue that steals everything.
God, I hate chaotic neutral characters so much. They're good ones, but like 90% of the ones I've encountered are just people who just want to steal shit from the party.
Yep. See, if I play a rogue, I play a rogue that is the opposite of that. I like to play characters in concepts that make, like, for example, a fighter that is smart. For example, that's Ren. You know, he's a smart fighter. I like that. I like that a lot because it allows me to play with the tropes and kind of put them on their head. You know, Alfie, for example, there's in my mind at least, elves tend to be very graceful and super polite. Alfie's a bit of a arrogant person.
He's a bit of a wiener.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wiener, right? But there's a reason why he's a wiener, you know? And I build on that, and that's his growth. You know, like before he would think that Sod was some idiot halfling, and now he's sharing drinks with him. And I like to see that within. I like to play characters a lot too because they let me explore facets of myself in real life, if that makes any sense. You know, I used to be incredibly shy, and believe me, I was very shy. I used to be very shy, I never spoke. But I was not as outgoing, and I was not as quote-unquote silver-tongued as I was before until I played my first character, which was in Shadowrun, believe it or not, who was...
You're going too much there, Alex. I'm picking on you.
Don't listen to that guy. Oh, God,
Well, Rook's not here, so somebody has to do it.
what's the fucking warrior? Goddamn session.
But like what I'm saying is like you would know how I dealt with people with raid and all that stuff, and just in the past, and also interviewing people and all that shit. I couldn't do that like 6 years ago. It's less tooting my own horn and just saying like the growth of. But anyways, my first character was a face, and all of a sudden I had to do that. Like shit, this is terrifying. And then you explore that apart yourself, and then you grow. in a tabletop game. It's kind of why I enjoy it when people grow the characters. And I get really frustrated when someone decides just to play another Skyrim rogue and just steals everything.
Yeah, like when people don't put any thought into it.
Yeah, like I don't. It's fine for like beginning, like if you're having players that are like just starting out, like I can understand like it's kind of a stereotypical archetype, because it's like you gotta get into it. Now, I mean it just depends on what they're looking like. Like you got Francis, who's just like rolled into that shit. Fine. Like yeah.
That was me.
And I have a fanfic for Dungeon World that I'm kind of like working on and off.
I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And it's not what you guys think it is. I have.
Is it not Voss just fucking everybody in the butthole? Like that's what I.
That's for later. Right now
Okay.
I have
It's a slow burn.
this. No, I have an OC that I've made for the game. His name is Kendrick, and he's very sad, and maybe he'll show up later. I don't know. But I love him a lot, and I ship him with Wesley.
Oh goodness. But
Wesley's a shattered boy right now.
Yeah, no, so I got a lot of hurt.
it's kind of worse. The worst time to leave off on the break after Wesley losing most of his senses.
Oh god, you had to remind me of that.
Die.
Welcome back.
Taliesin died. Yeah, you're right.
Taliesin also died.
Guys, are you ready for Talison's fucking angst start? Because I am.
I am. Oh
my
yeah,
God.
hell yeah.
Dude, Voss is amazing. God, Jesus.
I'm really glad I decided to go this direction with this character.
You know, like literally, like Voss was supposed to be just specifically between him and Dawncrest, and all of a sudden, he just grown to this fucking. Oh, see, the best part about Voss is that he is chaotic neutral, but so much fun to play. God.
You know, Voss turned out to be really good and really fit in with the plots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God,
I mean, you say worked out, it's more like it just worked that way because the DM and the players just kind of went in that direction with it. Yeah.
I mean, like, talking about like having concepts of at least the second time, because I didn't really have a concept of it the very first time.
no one, just
I was
people.
just like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make like a cool, like, smarmy wizard and like explode shit. Like that was really, because that was all that game was, right?
Yeah, like,
Daniel was like, I'm gonna name this character after my other dwarf, and he's gonna walk in his fists because they're so big.
you know what I mean? That's the fucking premise.
I mean, weren't our characters all just memes at the start?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's
Like,
all Baldrick's like story is the point.
When we took the second like thing at Taliesin, I was kind of like, okay, like there was some stuff with his like background that Alex and I had kind of worked out, but
Yeah.
I was like, we'll let that kind of come out as we go.
Yep.
But basically my concept with him was just like, well, I want him to be like, honestly, really just doing this for his own gratification, and kind of like feel like he's above a lot of everyone. Like obviously he knows he's doing the right thing, but like that's what he's out there to do.
He has a point to prove.
He's out there specifically to like do things to like make the people who he feels hurt by like jealous and angry of him.
Yes. That's a
He's
great.
extremely egotistical.
And then he died. Hey.
And then he died doing this.
Oh God, I'm ready. Anyways, let's get back into
First,
Alright.
can you guys look at the gun I drew? I'm really proud of it.
Let's stop talking about our other fantasy RPG and return to this fantasy RPG.
I like the gun.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, anyways,
Hold on. Before we start, or before we go into combat, I want to ask Eric a question.
yeah, absolutely.
Turn to Eric and I say, "Is fuck really a bad word?" Because Tio told me it is. Mirrium said it. So I'm
And,
so confused.
and with the look of just pure genuine on your face, the Quaggus just actually starts laughing.
How do Quaggus laugh? Please do that for me.
And kind of like.
Never mind, that was more depressing than I thought it would be.
It bares its teeth almost in a hyena-like way, but it's not used to its body, so it just starts to laugh from its diaphragm, and it laughs and wipes a tear with one of its knuckles off of its eyes, and just looks at you and nods that it's a bad word.
Okay. Mirrium, you should be in trouble now.
And with that is punctuated by brilliant lights underneath the door.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys do?
Go. Aldys, whoever's busting down the door. let's go.
All right, let's go. Okay, so I'll lead for sure. Cici's follow behind me. I think you can move faster than anybody anyway.
Extra speed right now.
1 second. Let me take a look at my level 1 spells and see. Yeah, I'm gonna just underestimate, I think. Alright, go ahead.
Hey, Mirrium, why don't you stand behind Cici and shine your hood your lantern and shine it in there, make sure we're not running into anything dangerous.
Absolutely.
But when I bust open the door, can I bust open the door actually? Like, is it like?
It's not locked. or
Okay.
anything. It's just a metal door that you can just kick open, or try to at least.
Right. Then then let's say
Kunal.
Kunal will follow behind. Javelin drawn. Go ahead and throw one of those out. Ready your shield.
No, he does. He
He
puts
does.
his flail to his hip and takes out a javelin. He has 3 left, and he readies it. And the first thing he's going to do in combat is throw a fucking javelin.
All right, good. And then he can draw his weapon from there on
Yep,
the next. Let's see. What's the Quagget's name? Because we got his name.
Eric.
Okay, Eric. Eric. Look. I don't know how comfortable you are in that body, but from what I can see, you can quite handily crawl on the walls and ceilings.
He kind of looks at the wall next to him, and he takes out his claws, and the claws kind of grow. And he's a bit unsettled by it, but adrenaline kind of starts to take over, and he starts to climb on top of it. And he starts to climb on the wall and hangs onto it. Surprises him a little bit, but he's able to stick onto it like a Spider-Man.
All right, you'll run in with me. If you can, try to grapple the guard that we can see. There's a guard directly straight shot from the door.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep him busy. That would help immensely.
Absolutely. 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can make a second character sheet for him. I'll do that later, actually.
We
But
should
he-
tell him not to kill Valentine.
All right,
I've already
he-
told him that.
Yeah, he's not going to kill Valentine, but he is currently at 12 health out of... I do have a character sheet for the Quaggoth, but 12 out of 45, so he's not looking too hot right now, just so you guys know. Just so you know, he's at 12 out of
I
45.
wish I had enough. I could cast Prayer of Healing right now. Oh well. Miriam, do you have any spell slots left?
I have some. Why?
I'm just curious, because I'm.
I
Oh,
have some. I had a couple of things left I can do. This is pretty much gonna be it.
okay.
Unless they've just been teleported out of the room and we're gonna bust in there into an empty room.
I
I'm
have-
90% sure what I think Alex is about to do to us.
I'm 100% sure that's not gonna happen. There's gonna be something in there.
Anyways, so what, do you guys bust in?
Yep.
Okay, you can move yourselves into the
Kick
room.
open the door. Mirrium shines the lantern.
Yes, and there's no traps over there, actually.
Woo!
And you're able to see everything inside that room. March your way, what order you decide to go in.
Yep, right here. So.
No, what were you yet about there?
Oh, okay.
Before something happens, you can interrupt me after you guys move that
That's
initial
cool. Yeah.
initial feat. So you bust in and you go inside the door and you see Wallenheim and a unconscious Lady Wallenheim in his arms. Lord Wallenheim looks surprised, and as he turns to look at you, half of his face is just covered in this purple virus that has taken over his body. His right arm is completely just numb and limp, as his wife next to him is slumped over onto what appears to be just a makeshift beds in cloth. She's resting onto it, unconscious too. Splotches of her own body is there too. And on the portal, you see what appears to be a figure cowled, but as you come in, you hear the raspings of a man, desperate. He says, "You promised, Doctor, that you would help me." And he's just crying and slobbering mess. As the 3 guards, you notice, have hands on their swords, just not specifically towards you guys, but just ready. As Valentine screams into this, what appears to be this portal, and a voice appears out of it, saying, "You have guests, Valentine. It looks like you never dealt with them." And with that, Aldys, what do you do? As you just get to there and you hear all this.
I'm pointing the sword at Valentine.
And?
Lord Valentine. I'm gonna shout at him, but I can't actually shout. So
Yeah. You shout Lord Valentine.
By proxy of Lord Hightower, I'm going to place you under arrest.
And
Someone be quietly, and no blood shall be spilled.
And he turns and he looks and he says, "Please save me." And with the purple magic starts to flow from what appears to be this circular giant portal that was one way, goes out, and tendrils start to seep inside of him, and he starts to retch in pain. And everyone, select your character tokens and roll initiative. Let me organize this real quick. Oh, it's you. You have to go first.
Yes.
Let's see if you do go first. No, the cards are gonna roll. I know. The black pudding's not there, I promise. There's not another one.
We'll see.
Oh, thanks for rolling Canal as well, guys. Oh, no. Did you guys roll Canal? No, we did not.
I can if you'd like.
We're not that nice.
Yeah, can you select this character sheet and roll as well?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Canals. Because he's with you guys. He rolled exactly the same thing.
Do you want me to control Canal for this fight? Because I can if you'd like.
Absolutely. I mean, no, I can control Canal. He'll just do what you ask him to do.
Okay.
And the first thing he's gonna do is throw a javelin at this boy over here.
Well, you know, my turn, and I would like to hold my turn until his turn.
Alright, you
Or
like to
at least until the hallway is clear.
Until the hallway's clear? Okay, so Tia, you hold your turn, and the Cloggith lets the rage take over, and his eyes gleam in red as he starts to climb the walls. And he can move about 30 feet, so he can move actually up to here. And he climbs along the wall and leaps and goes for a strike against the guard, completely giving himself through to the rage that he has. The first attack hits. The second one misses as he digs his claws into the guard as it retches in pain. And there's 9 points of slashing damage. Not bad. And that is its turn. Cici, it is your turn.
So there's something over here that's...
Yes, purple energy has shot into Valentine like a spear, and you notice the one arm that his right hand is turning into this purple set of magic, and tentacles start to sprout out of it, little small ones at the start.
So is there any like orb or anything over there that I could target?
You mean you could target the actual
It's
portal
like
itself?
a mirror, I think.
It's a mirror, yeah.
Okay, I want to target the mirror and throw my javelin at it.
Right, absolutely. But you are not in line of sight right now. There's a wall in your way.
Then I want to move up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
so-
launch.
Yeah, you
Alright,
can move.
perfect.
Alright,
I'm not sure if that's where I want to move.
Alright, so it has an AC of 10 since it's mounted against the wall. That's 6 damage as it has 10 health. And you throw a javelin, and you throw it into the mirror, and it hits it, and magic starts to flow outward and everywhere. And Valentine screams and retches in pain, but the spears themselves start to not just target him, but everyone in the room that is afflicted with whatever this virus is, and he falls over and slumps. And you have another attack. What do you do?
Is the mirror destroyed?
It's cracked, but it has 4 health left.
Okay, I want to also rage,
Yeah, go ahead. You rage.
and I'm gonna throw my javelin, and I think that adds
2 damage to it.
damage. Yeah.
You throw another javelin, and it and it hits, and the mirror shatters, and all these magical spirits and purple psionic energy flings across the room, and you notice these men over here, they all clutch their heads in pain, but tentacles start to fling out of their brain and their bodies as their arms get laced in, like, there's 3 or 4 very large purple tentacles that start to flail around. But Wallenheim falls to the ground, his arm partially transformed, partially of his face, partially transformed, and is just a bunch of splotches of tentacles just growing out of his face. The wife, though, is unharmed. And it is his turn, and he falls to the ground, wretched in pain, and he screams and he flails his arm around, and these tentacles seem to just hit aimlessly in the air, and does nothing. The guards, however, responds. This guard, who is currently inflicted by this malaise, as the intellect devourer inside of its brain literally just burst as its tentacles reach around and cover his body in something that you've never seen before, goes and strikes against the Quaggoth, with its tentacles flowing out. And let's see how does this hit. Does not, holy shit. The first attack misses, and the second attack does miss as well, as Quaggoth, despite completely unaware of its natural nimbleness, just seems to see everything in slow motion and dodge. The second one sees Aldys reaching forward, and the first attack, that doesn't hit you, does it?
Negative.
And the second attack, wow, I'm not rolling too well right now. And the final one, retching, runs up to Cici, because you threw the javelins.
How do you run? Very important for me to know that, because he's moving across threatened squares.
Yeah.
He's going for Cici.
No,
The
but
Quaggoth-
if he stays within shot,
Actually, yeah, you're right. Okay.
it doesn't provoke attacks of
Totally
opportunity.
doesn't. You're right.
And he totally does it, and he like hobbles around, tentacles. The first,
Wait, when you leave a threatened square, is that different?
It's different. Yes, it's different. It's different. As long as you don't leave a threatened square, like to a non-threatened square, you're fine. Like you can't. Yeah, it's weird. You can move around targets in this game.
the first attack does hit, as the tentacles grip you and hit you, and does. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, as psionic energy starts to pulse down this tentacle. Oh! 1!
No!
And first take 8 points. So that this is bludgeoning damage, so it's reduced by half, so you only take 4 damage. But the psionic damage you cannot resist, as the psionic energies pulse into your head, and you take 23 points of damage.
Oh, wait, doesn't rage work on all energy?
No, only
Doesn't? Okay.
slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning.
Okay.
And Cici, this shock of energy just courses through your entire body as you take 27 points of damage.
Yeesh.
Ouch.
And it has another attack.
This might actually kill me.
And the second attack comes around and swings, but you managing able to just duck out of the way as your whole body is just shaking and numb. Now it is Mirrium's turn. Or, yeah, it is now Mirrium's turn.
Alex, do you need to roll
fuck.
a d20 there?
I forgot to do my storm aura. I'll do it next time.
D20? What's a D20 for?
You didn't.
You rolled a 1d8 plus
Not
2
a
for the
1d8, my
attack.
dude.
Oh, did I roll a 1d8 plus 3 for it? My bad. Let's see.
No, that's not
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
kill
the
it.
second one does hit. The second one does
I'm
hit.
sorry,
for,
Cici.
You guys had to open your mouth.
Yeah, for 9 damage. I'm gonna take
I was
that
gonna
roll.
say anything.
And, Cici, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
So that means I'm at 1.
Oh!
Gross.
Oh!
So wait, that's 5 points of bludgeoning damage, so that's in half, so that'd be 2.5, so...
No. It's 9 divided by 2.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
doing the 9 damage?
Yeah,
Wait.
I was...
Yeah.
Because I had rolled, I originally rolled a 1d8 first. Actually, you know what? Out of spirit, I'm gonna roll the
But
1d8.
the 1d8 plus 3, that was for the attack, wasn't it?
That was for the damage. I had rolled a d20, I didn't. So, I rolled it.
You just looked at the 9.
So I just looked at the 9 and I thought it was a d20.
Yeah.
So the actual attack roll, because I missed it, was 21. So that does hit. And I took the 9 from earlier, but I shouldn't do that. So I'm gonna roll the damage again and see what it rolls. Because the second attack will hit you. And I'm gonna say, and if I'm gonna roll a 1d8 plus 3, and that's the damage itself, it's the bludgeoning damage itself. And
Okay.
you take 11
Oh
points.
no.
So basically I'm dead.
That's
You're
more.
unconscious. You're unconscious right now. As the tentacle slams against you and pushes you against the wall.
I'm
You
sorry.
lose your rage, but you are down. You are down to this combat.
You really did, man. He's just like.
I mean, that's the spirit of the game, guys.
Turtle, Dad, let me down.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm sorry.
So, okay, so now it is Mirrium's turn. As you see like a slam against the wall as Cici gets knocked inside as the tentacle wraps around her and starts to squeeze around her. Thankfully, oh, it's slow. Which one do you slow? Up to 6
Up to
creatures.
6 creatures in a 40-foot cube within range.
Hey.
Each must make a wisdom saving throw.
So that entire room.
That entire room.
Just all of the bad boys.
Yeah, all the bad boys. So go alright,
Yeah,
let's see. This is a wisdom saving throw. They have a wisdom. Okay, they have no wisdom bonuses. It's just
Yay.
the first one going from left to right. The first one that just knocked out Cici fails. The second that is fighting the Quaggoth fails, and the third that tried to strike Aldys also fails. As all of them suddenly a malaise starts to slow down, and their movements become a lot more slowed. And let's see, slow. All right.
Speed is half.
Dang.
Can't use reactions, you say?
They cannot use reactions, and
They can use either an action or a bonus action.
Yep. yep. But they have, yeah.
And they can't make more than one attack.
That's actually a very good point. Thank you for reading that, because they have 2 attacks. Now they only have 1.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
Why do you think I took slow?
But each turn, on their next turn, they'll all roll a wisdom saving throw to see if they can beat it.
All right.
All right, that's all your turn. You can do, right, Mirrium?
You can move. Sure.
Yes.
I can beat it that
Yeah. So do you move any further, or do you stay right there?
turn.
Okay. So Aldys is,
All right. Kunal, flank formation. This guy right here.
and he nods, and assume this one right here. Okay.
Yep.
So you kind of like hop over, and Kunal kind of goes around, takes out the javelin that he was supposed to throw, and just starts to prod at the slowed man, this creature just flailing around. And go ahead, you get advantage.
Yep. That's what I wanted. All right.
The first attack, despite the -2 AC, he has an AC of 15. So the 17 is his regular AC, reduced to 15. So the first attack misses. The second attack does hit, as you do a nice chunk of 13 damage to him. What else do you do?
Wait.
You rolled a 2. That's
12.
Well, that's one.
Hey, man, that happens.
That happens. So so your second attack swings.
All right. Let's see. That is going to be all for now. I wanted to open up to allow the Toidal to come in.
Yeah, no, it is now the portal's turn.
Well, I'm providing Kunal should also probably do something.
Yeah, Kunal will act after Tio, because Tio had held his turn until Kunal moved.
Okay.
So Tio,
Oh,
it is
okay, I
gonna-
didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Lord Vulcan? Well, Valheim.
Valheim. So actually, he's actually.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all right, so you move forward. You move in front of Kunal as Kunal tries to, flank, slow
I mean,
boy.
they can shift around. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they can shift around. Tio, Valheim is out cold. Next to his wife, out cold as well.
Okay. I'm gonna go over here and attack the one that was attacking Cici.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm gonna cast Green Flame Blade.
Absolutely. And so you roll for the attack, and you add another D8 damage to it. Says your I assume your I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I've
call
got-
it aspected wood because you wanted me to change the name. So
Oh, yeah.
your aspected wood starts. So what's the shape of it right now? Is it still a halberd?
Use the
'Cause
axe form.
Should use the axe form. It becomes an axe, so it's a 1d6, and you swing as it lights in this brilliant green flame. What were your
No, it's like 1d8.
Isn't it? Oh, well,
It's the war axe that.
it's the battle axe. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
battle axe. So you do 7 damage to it. Then go ahead and roll another 1d8.
You should just make a 1d8 hotkey on your
You
sheet.
should. 1d, and that's a wow. You're angry.
14 damage.
You're really angry right now.
Yeah.
And 14, like the first battle axe hits inside of it, and then all of a sudden the burst of flame shoots out of the wound, and it retches in pain as you do. You can put the damage to it. Very good. Is that your turn?
I can see within 5 feet. Is it 5 feet of me or 5 feet
It's
of
5 feet of the target.
Yeah, so
you
unfortunately, you can't jump.
Damn it. Okay. Well, now I know.
So-
Alright. That's my turn then.
Okay, and now it is now Kunal's turn. As Kunal sees Cici go to the ground, actually drops the spear and runs to Cici and aids her. So you automatically get 1 success to your death saving throws. Did you mark that down? It's underneath your...
That's good.
Yeah, 1 success. As Kunal takes out some bandages and just starts to apply, does not caring for his own safety, and just sees you go down and starts to help you out.
Oh, good boy. I love it.
You dad.
And
No!
and his bonus action, he can't do anything. That's it. And Tio, it is your turn again.
Nice. In that case, I'm going to cast Booming Blade.
On the one next to you, yep, absolutely. So first, roll your attack. As your axe now glows in a different type of light as you strike him. That hits for 6 points of damage. And now the mark itself. And an additional 4 as it continues to retch in pain.
10 damage.
10 damage altogether. I've done the math.
That's my turn.
Alright. Now the Cloggith, angry, is going to try and tackle this dude to the ground. Going to make an athletics check. It's an 18 versus the guard's athletics check, which is actually not too bad itself. Oi! He jumps on him! And to front. And while he's on top of the guard, he starts to take his claws and dig inside of him. For an additional 5, because the AC is 15, because of the slow, takes an additional 5 points of damage. Now this guard cannot do anything and cannot move. Cici, can you make a death saving throw for me, please?
What do I roll for that?
Just click the death saving throw.
Straight 120.
Straight 120. Oh!
You are up with 1 health!
That's my girl!
Hey,
It's
do something!
Cici! You wake up, despite this psionic energy wrapping inside of you, get up with this fervor, and you're up with 1 health.
Okay.
And
That's the
you
roll.
have... That's rule. Yeah, you have 1 action, 1 bonus action, 1 movement. What do? You're not raging because you are incapacitated, so you're not raging right now. That is,
So I still have an action and a bonus action?
You still have an action and a
Yeah, all
bonus
your
action
stuff,
and
yeah.
movement, and you are 1
Oh.
point of exhaustion because you were knocked out. However, it doesn't affect attack rolls, only ability checks.
So you can
Okay.
attack and then move
Then, yeah.
move out.
I'm going to attack the dude in front of me.
So you take out your javelin and you stab him and you kill him. As you just are filled with this rage, and Tio, you wake up to Tio saving you, knocking him against the wall, hitting him with a booming blade. It's light bursting from its chest, and you wake up and you manage, despite your grogginess and your exhausted state, grab your javelin and stab into him. How do you kill him?
Can I just stab him right through the chest and then throw him across the room, or throw him wherever?
You actually throw the javelin into him, and your raw strength pins him against the wall on the opposite end.
And can I still attack?
You still have 1 more attack, yeah?
Can I use a javelin to target the guy in front of Aldys?
Yep. And you turn around and you get advantage because he is definitely flanked right now. And you do another 8 points of damage.
It's bad.
Alright.
And I'm going to run away.
Yeah, and in your panic state, you run away. Move where you want to move.
Well, you have 1 HP.
And you retreat. And because they don't have reaction, because slow is fucking incredible.
Well,
you
good.
can't just- And you're concentrating, by the way. I'm just going to mark this as concentrating. So, alright. Now, Cici, that is your turn, right? Yes? Alright. Vollenheim, on the ground, you notice tentacles start to come out of his arm more, but he's still knocked out. Alright, now it is the first guard's turn. This guard, noticing he's surrounded, wants to attack twice, but can only attack once, and will attack Aldys, the original target.
Roundly.
And, plus... That hits!
Yes.
For... First, 10 points of damage, bludgeoning damage, as the tentacle slams against you, and it sticks against your plate. Well, no, it slides across your plate because it has Universal Summon on it, but you still need to make a Wisdom saving throw. And you resist it.
Oh, get fucked.
I'm gonna roll the 3d8, see how much damage you would have taken. But you don't take it at all. You don't take it at all.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
You manage to resist the psionic energy that bursts into your skull.
Like, nope.
And the other one is going to first knock off the Quaggoth, so he's going to roll his athletics check. It's a 12, and the Quaggoth is going to
Oh, no, buddy.
And no, the Quaggoth is like,
Oh, he's slow, so he can't do anything else. Fuck
he
you.
can't, he literally can't do anything else. It was so good. And that's its turn. Mirrium, it is your turn.
Can I see that guy around the corner holding up the magic missile?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely. Go ahead. And that hits him for 10 points of damage, as all the missiles hit him. Tush, tush, tush. This is level 1, right? Yeah, so like 3 bolts hit him, and he's barely standing. You notice the blood streaking down, the purple blood from the tentacles, like some of them just go limp as they just kind of writhe slowly in pain. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right, now Aldys, it is yours.
Okay, now finish this boy off.
Oh, well, it's
Like,
your
now
turn.
attack.
Oh, Kunal, taking the opportunity, whips out his flail, spins it around a few times, and goes for an attack. Ooh, you're really letting him stroke his ego right now. I love it. You don't know, he uses his whole arm too. But, oh, well. And he takes the flail, he swings out his arm, and just smashes it against his face. And his head just gets popped right off.
Excellent. Now I'll take my turn.
Yeah, no, he is actually going to move over here.
Yeah,
He can't attack again.
I'll spin the sword around into a coup de grace.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's prone, right?
He is, yeah, he's prone right now with the
This
Quaggoth
guy's
on top of him.
This poor boy.
This poor boy. You do 14 points of damage to him. The first strike hits him clean in the chest. And the next
And then
attack.
we're gonna come around for a stab.
And finally, this probably will kill him. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, it killed it.
Wait, hold on.
You can roll a 2d6, but it has 6 health. It's dead no matter what. I mean, it's dead no matter what.
6, good. Exactly killed him. Just stab right through the gut stab. It's done.
And it writhes in pain. Its tentacles reach up for your helm, and this just drops to the ground, dead. Well, that encounter could have gone a lot worse.
Alright, I would like to run up to Lord Valheim and use my Kurgan's ointment on him. And just kind of rub it on his face.
What?
Can we chop off his hand?
You could, but as you take the Kyotom's ointment and you rub it across, the tentacles stop spreading, but they don't revert it.
Alright, and now I'm gonna do it to Lady Valheim.
You are able to cure Lady Wallenheim, as the ointment covers her body.
And that's the last of my ointment.
Yep, that is the last of your ointment, and you notice as the salve kind of is rubbed all over her arms and her exposed body. She's dressed as best as she could for the situation, just knocked out. You see, as a salve, it kind of sucks out whatever this illness is, and just it becomes a part of the ointment, and then disappears and fizzles into smoke that is very much the way that it fizzled out when you had used that spell in the vault with the 3 tadpoles before you go.
Alright, finally, I would like to cast Protection from Evil and Good on Lord Valheim, using my last 2 sorcery points.
Absolutely. And you take your hands and you rub your hands together, and the light shines over Wallenheim. And you notice something, an enchantment leave his skull, but unfortunately his body remains the same. But
Well,
Can I cast restoration?
do you have restoration?
I do have restorations.
You have less restoration.
Alright, let's
Unfortunately,
actually,
you
we're
need-
gonna wait. Actually, it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as the danger's passed on him, is he stable
He is stable, and the Quaggoth kind of like continues to dig into this guard for a little bit, kind of letting the rage get the better of him before he stops. Like his maw is bloodied, his fur is covered, and it calms down. And then Kunal walks up to Cici and puts a hand on your shoulder. Are you all right?
I hug him and thank him.
Oh, he's actually caught aback by the hug. Like he drops his shield just whoa, as he just kind of give him like a really big hug. And he's I'll take that as yes, you're fine.
Good work now.
Yes, I assume this is all you need. Should I call the captain and anyone else?
At once, please. Return here with them.
He does that.
Whoa, he went so fast he disappeared.
Yeah, seriously, it became the Flash.
Whoosh.
Mirrium, you should check that mirror over there.
Oh, I'm already on that.
Yes, but before you do
It's
that,
busted, right?
it's busted, it's shattered, but you can still take a look at it.
Oh, and I think you're not concentrating anymore, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're not concentrating anymore. Because
Oh,
they're all
I'm
dead.
not.
God, slow is so good. Damn, that paid
Yeah,
off.
it's really good.
Yeah, I'm happy. But anyways,
I've been holding on to that one for
a while. Yeah, it's a good thing you did.
Yeah.
And Wallenheim, his eyes open. I'll resolve that in a second. Okay, Mirrium?
I'll kneel down to him. Lord Valentine.
Duh. And he sees the helmet first and panics, and then resolves. Who are you?
I am Aldys, Dawncrest, scion of the Dawncrests.
Lady Aldys. And he kind of like stumbles and wants to go into a kneel, but he's so weak he can't move right now.
And save yourself.
What happened?
We aren't sure yet.
And he takes a look at his arm, and he starts like, no, and like his whole arm is like half tentacle, half arm right now. This can't. No.
Calm yourself.
And then
Give us some time to piece this together. Yeah.
and
Persuasion.
roll persuasion to see how well you can calm him down.
I'll give him advantage on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
not that
Really.
that
Sorry,
helps.
that's everyone for the save. Oops.
No, and he flails like, no, this is not supposed to how it happens, and he kind of like crawls.
There, that's better.
And the second one does calm him down after like about a good 5 minutes of just consoling him. But he looks and says, "You should just kill me now. My wife, my daughter, are they?
They're both alive.
Stay away from me. You'll get infected."
No. Here, I show him the Kerrigan's ointment and how it's empty. This
By the
cured
way,
your
Yes.
injuries, your illness.
That, just so I understand, Alex, the Kyotum's ointment, it cured the disease, right?
Yes, it does. It cured the disease.
Is Kyotum's ointment just a magical item?
Yeah, it's a magical item in this setting.
So anyone conceivably could have made it.
Yeah, with enough time and materials, you can totally refill Kyotum's ointment.
Why didn't
He's being bullshitted.
Yeah, he was. We're getting to that.
Okay.
It's not supposed to happen like this. I took the prescription as asked. I did everything that the doctor told me to do.
Yes, you did.
What?
Probably why all this happened.
No.
He was taking advantage of you, my lord.
No. And he kind of like he takes his hand and half tentacle and buries his face into it, and he just starts sobbing. Everything that I worked for.
Get a hold of yourself.
Do you like slap him across the face?
Yep.
It's like a nice clean
No.
slap. And the gauntlet smacks him clean in the face, and he kind of like spits all blood afterwards. Kind of sucks it up for a moment. This is Shovel Man who's gone through a lot. Says, I will tell you everything that I know.
I know you will, but not right now.
My lord, you need to rest. And my lady as well.
And he takes a look at his arm. I can't face them after this.
Very well.
Throw me in a cell. Tell them I died or something.
I'm gonna look at him very seriously. Is that really what you want your daughter to think?
He's being dramatic. Let him rest for a day. He'll come to his senses.
And about a few minutes after that, you see Vagar and Kunal and about 4 other guards come in. And they're all armed and geared, but Kunal had told them that the danger has passed. And he said, and Vagar approaches you, and this old man sees.
Eric, hide.
Pardon?
He should hide. Eric should hide. Should not be around here.
Oh, you're right. You tell Eric to hide. He goes in the cell.
Oh,
Can
Zoo.
Sorry, that was trippy.
He appeared to stretch.
Spatial displacement.
Does anyone go with him, or?
yeah, I'm gonna stay with him.
Cici,
Right.
yes, go.
So the both of you kind of like go off, and you kind of like stay in front of the door at first to see all the guards walk by, and Kunal gives you a salute, and knows what he knows what you're doing, and doesn't say anything. And
I
continues
wave.
through. And after you know that the coast is clear, you go inside and you kind of hang out with Eric for a bit. So with that, Vulgar, I don't have the icon. Vulgar, Kunal, and everyone, they come in, they see. You know, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, we established that last session. He's
Yeah.
the letter V.
He is the letter.
Letter V.
He is the letter V.
And I'm sad because you don't know what NetHack is.
I'm sorry. So, anyways, he comes up and he sees, and there's a grimace on his face. And as he walks in front of Kunal, he tells his men to wait outside. Vigar and Kunal come in. He's just normally ask Kunal to wait outside, but he's seen this already. I trust him. Kunal kind of nods, and he goes, "Lord Wallenheim," and he goes, "Don't call me Lord anymore." And Vigar just kind of grimaces, "No, you're still the Lord, Wallenheim." And he turns over to Aldys. "So, what do we do now?"
Well, Mirrium is going to check that out. He was speaking to the, I assume you're speaking to the doctor there.
Wallenheim nods. Much of the last few weeks have been very hazy, but I do remember things leading up to it. And Mirrium, I'm going to go deal with your Arcana stuff now. So you kind of look over in the bent pieces. It's hard to tell exactly what this is specifically because it's shattered, because you see two javelins kind of stuck into the wall right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that this definitely is a communication thing. And if you kind of go to the notes that you still have the letters, right?
Yeah.
It is I have an orb which you can continue to communicate through, and this is the orb. You can notice that like the orb is built within the frame of it, but that has been shattered as well with everything. Because, but you know that as you take a look at the orb, I'm gonna give you a one guess to what color it is.
Oh, is it purple?
Green.
Yep, it's purple. Psionic energy seems to
Oh,
pulse from it.
Yep.
There's etchings around. The green light has been. It's just I can only find, but it's purple. It's definitely purple and green. But it looks like made definitely out of Utharid, not Uthar, but illithid hands. And the picture of the man that you saw through, you were able to see that it was indeed the doctor.
Right?
Hey, Alex, I'm gonna take a glance over though at the lore. Like nothing about that actually looks like spell plague, though, does it?
No, it's not Spellplague.
Okay.
Well, actually, it is Spellplague, and at closer inspection, the Spellplague, he was inflicted by a form of Spellplague, but the vials only intensified it.
What about his wife?
His wife is just the side effect. This is the regular Spellplague. So he was indeed affected by it, but the things that he ingested, and remember if you the last session when you read the third and fourth letter, there's a psychosis that was driving you, and Wallenheim had been going through that for about 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're gonna cast protection from good and evil on Valentine, right?
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Wallenheim
Okay.
was able to actually. He's sane, completely sane right now.
It didn't
Defeated,
squelch
let's say.
out from him. Great.
So he's no longer under a psychosis, but because of that, he's completely aware of everything that he's done the last month and a half. So that's what's going through his mind right now.
Mirrium, have you found anything interesting over here?
This is
Yeah.
definitely made by the Ulithid.
And the purple gem still seems to glow and pulse in your hand.
I
And you,
smash it on the ground.
no, well, before you smash it onto the ground, you hear a voice coming from it.
Oh. What does the voice say as I have my fist raised in the air?
It seems I have guests. He can't see anything, but he hears voices. He hears voices. Wallenheim, you have disappointed me so. And Wallenheim just doesn't say anything. What's the party say?
I'm just kind of glaring at the orb.
Your machinations here are failed, creature. Reveal
Sorry?
yourself. I mean, they smite you.
Oh, paladins of the crown. So typical. So predictable. I will see you all soon. I guarantee it. The voice continues to trail, and the last bits of energy inside this cracked orb starts to lose its energy, and it's kind of like cutting out on a walkie-talkie. Any last words to the orb before it kind of like disappears, or do you just kind of say, "I'm going to smite the fuck out of you"?
I mean, vulgarity.
Yeah, vulgarity essentially.
Oh, Cici's not in the room.
Mirrium's gonna say, if you really want a sunlight, why don't you come and get it? Just don't get blinded by it. Smash the goddamn gem.
And as you smash it,
I mean, I just,
yeah. the sounds of laughter kind of smashes into it and it kind of disappears.
Oh, it's like that creepy echo laughter shit.
That creepy, the cliche echo laughter shit.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course.
I need that in my life right now.
The Vigar says, well, that's unsettling. I'm going to triple the watch just in case anything happens.
Good. Quarantine Lord Wallenheim. Put him under a protective watch. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Wallenheim, where did you send them? I'm gonna just get it right here. You remember what you did?
Yes, I do.
Where did you send them?
Those in his heads, and he's going to make a intelligence check to see if he can remember. But it's a good thing you asked him that. He's going to get a +2 to this, and depending on his roll, he'll tell you 1. And it kind of stutters. The front line. I know a letter sent to the front.
I'm like shaking him. To who?
And his eyes and the lucidity. Wait. Hightower.
What? You sent one to Lord Hightower.
Yes. I don't remember what I wrote, but I remember the seal. My office. Was it destroyed?
No, your office is intact.
Check the
Except for
vault.
the clock.
Check the vault. My seal. You might find something there. No, and he kind of crumples.
Gods.
I'm gonna like put his arm around my shoulder and kind of like pick him up and help him. I want to get him back to like a bed.
Yeah, they're taking a pathway. You find like a bed on the first floor. Out of the sight, and Vigar kind of sends a guard ahead to make sure that Lady Belladonna is kind of kept and entertained in other rooms because Valheim really does not want to be seen right now.
Mm-hmm. Once he's settled back, I'm gonna come back for his mother or for Lady Valentine.
Yeah, Lady Valentine, and you do the same thing.
Yep. And I kind of pick her up and carry her in my arms.
Now that the two of them are off to where they need to go to, I'm just going to delete them for now. You'll have a moment alone in the room.
Captain V's there, though. It's fine.
Yeah, the V is there, and Kunao is there as well. And he's like fucking unsettled right now. Vagara is maintaining a front.
This is disturbing. If a mind flayer gets a hold of one of the High Lords around here, we could have a real problem.
Indeed, but we should be able to determine who is afflicted or not.
Nope.
And you say that, and Vigar says, "What do you mean, no?"
I tell him about the experiments that the doctor had been doing down here.
And he actually like he loses composure and he puts his hand on the wall and just, oh, by soul, this is terrible.
It is indeed quite ghastly.
Well, he developed it here. I don't know how long it'll take him to make more.
Especially since we destroyed his notes on it. May have required something in theirs, but knowing him, he probably wrote them down.
I have a feeling he does not need his notes to reproduce this.
Ugh. What a disgusting man. Regardless, if Hightower could be affected, we need to get to him immediately.
He's on the front right now, but the emissaries are coming very soon. There's 2 more, you said, unaccounted for.
Indeed.
I will try to see where the messengers ran to. I'll get that information to you as soon as I can.
Every single letter, every missive, anything that came out of here.
Kunal, get on that right away. And Kunal salutes right away. And Vigar says to him, keep this private. Only the people in this room knows. And Kunal says, yes, I'll make sure of that. And he goes off. And Vigar turns all this. Vallenheim is still... I'm not sure about his sanity. He might be calm now, but he does... I've seen that look before. He's defeated.
Regency should fall to the lady for now.
Belladonna. Oh.
Mm.
No, Lady Vallenheim. Yeah, you're right.
Lady Vallenheim.
I hope that she is unaffected by this.
She's
fine.
She seems fine.
She's fine.
Well, we're not sure about that. I didn't get a chance to cast protection from.
Yeah, I'd watch her closely. We don't know if she's been infected by the new creatures.
Take care of that.
Actually, I could. Yeah.
You should do that.
I will definitely do that immediately.
I need to go back and get my quill and my. Well, I'm gonna retrieve my parchment, and I guess I'm not gonna retrieve my.
No, and you head over there, and you open the door to Cici showing Eric the most elegant dance. And Eric
Try to teach him.
And Eric just, it's been through a lot. And you come in and you open the door to Cici and Eric doing a waltz.
Aww.
I correct her form. Get my.
No, you don't. You don't correct her form. It's impeccable.
Oh, I compliment her on her form.
Yeah.
Hey, wait! I get to this room and I stop.
Yes.
Huh?
What?
What room?
This room. This door.
It's open.
Oh yeah. Also, was there anything over here?
Oh, sorry?
Was that just a wall?
Just
was there
a...
anything actually?
Yeah, over the right side of the.
Over
here.
Absolutely. There's another door that leads that way. And we'll start to get towards the end of this session. You're more than welcome to investigate that.
Yeah, Mirrium, let's go check that out.
Yeah, we should do that.
And the doors over there seem to no longer be locked by the mechanism. And Mirrium, as you open this, you see something truly horrifying.
Oh no.
Along the pillars are so many bodies chained up, the back of their scalp removed, hanging for who knows how long. And that is where I'm going to end the session. So, how do you guys find that?
Gross.
Yeah.
Disgusting. I loved it.
Awful.
It was
Really good.
Good.
It was fucking fun.
That's all.
Fuck.
It was. I'm glad you all had fun and you got to really, really get into the nitty gritty of the lore. Oh God, amazing!
Brain surgeons, great.
Yikes. Oof.